Welcome to District 5-5A football in Ascension Parish. You're watching the REV Game of the Week. I'm Jeff Porsche, and I'll be joined soon by Coach David Swacker as we are at Griffin Field in Geismar, home of the Dutchtown Griffins. The Dutchtown Griffins will take on the AMANT Gators in a good old-fashioned Ascension Parish rivalry in District 5-5A. We're going to take a break right now, and when we come back, we'll get to senior night for Dutchtown High School's football players. But right now, we'll take a break. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
Looking for an extraordinary education opportunity? Introducing Ascension Public School's Early College Option Program, where you can earn a high school diploma and an associate's degree from River Parish's community college at the same time. Experience the best of both worlds as high school seamlessly blends with college coursework in a rigorous yet supportive program. Yet stay connected to your home high school through clubs, organizations, and sports. And here's the best part. Students pay no tuition or textbook cost. Ascension Public School's Early College Option Program, where your future begins today.
B.T. Chapman and A.J. Pickett with Advantage Therapy are honored and excited to team up with Dutchtown High School's athletics. At Advantage Therapy, we are dedicated to helping our patients regain the highest possible functional status through one-on-one patient care. Advantage Therapy has spent nearly 2 decades providing both outpatient orthopedic physical therapy and occupational therapy to the people of Ascension and surrounding parishes. From all of us at Advantage Therapy, go Griffins!
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, forget about X's and O's. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Dr. Brian Hollis is Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Dr. Hollis has an excellent reputation for bringing state-of-the-art technology and the highest standard of patient care to Ascension. He attended LSU Dental School, and he completed a residency to become a board-certified specialist in orthodontics. An avid supporter in our community, Dr. Hollis is married to Celeste Pyron Hollis, and they have 4 children. Dr. Hollis, Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Grow up smiling with Hollis Orthodontics. Get to know SEC Heating and Cooling this year. Locally owned and operated by Stephen Conyer since 2013, SEC Heating and Cooling works with residential and commercial customers in Ascension, East Baton Rouge, Livingston, and surrounding parishes. SEC specializes in preventive maintenance, repair, and complete changeout and installation of energy-efficient central air systems. From professional sales and expert installation of central AC systems to repairs and ductless AC systems, we can handle all your needs. For total peace of mind, call SEC today.
No one teaches you what to do immediately after an accident. Once everyone is safe, your first call should be to an attorney, not the insurance company.
Don't let the insurance company take advantage of you at your time of need. Call the Title Law Firm. We'll walk you through what you need to do in real time.
But you can take advantage of the Title Law Firm's 30 years of experience.
Before you call your insurance, make a free, no-obligation call to the Title Law Firm.
Call 756-0007 when you're injured. You gotta call Title.
Welcome back to the REV Game of the Week. Jeff Porsche here with David Swacker, and our camera operators Andre Chapoy and Jake Voisin, and Director Nolan Wagaspack, along with producer Lyle Boudreau at home, ready to bring you tonight's game. Dutchtown hosting Sanamaw. It ought to be a good one tonight. You see Sanamaw unbeaten on the season, 7-0 on the season, 2-0 in district play. Dutchtown 5-1 overall and 1-1 in district play. And we're about 30 minutes from the opening kickoff for tonight's game, but we're coming to you a little bit early because any minute now we expect to have the senior presentation. As you see, they're still kind of setting up right now the class of 2024 senior football players for Dutchtown. They're dressed and lined up, or getting ready to line up over in the left end zone. Sanamaw finishing their warm-ups, so they're not quite ready to get off the field, but in the next 5 minutes or so, we expect to have the senior night presentation, and then we'll go with that in its entirety, and then we'll talk about the game a little bit, and we'll get to the Dutchtown Sound with the alma mater and the national anthem, and then we'll get to the coin toss and the opening kickoff. But while we wait for everybody to finish setting up, we're going to take one more short break, and when we come back, we hope to be ready with the senior presentations. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
REV Business started small in 1935. We built our reputation by providing hometown service with Louisiana hustle. For nearly 90 years, we've expanded across our great state, through the swamps and across the Mississippi, bringing fiber optics from the capital to the North Shore, all to connect your business with the world. REV is about big business technology with small business personal service.
For a limited time, get up to $300 off business services. Call or visit us today at letsrev.biz.
Looking for an extraordinary education opportunity? Introducing Ascension Public School's Early College Option Program, where you can earn a high school diploma and an associate's degree from River Parishes Community College at the same time. Experience the best of both worlds as high school seamlessly blends with college coursework in a rigorous yet supportive program. Yet stay connected to your home high school through clubs, organizations, and sports. And here's the best part. Students pay no tuition or textbook costs. Ascension Public School's Early College Option Program, where your future begins today.
The best way to recruit for at-home tailgating is Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin. All of the 5 stars are at Chris's Specialty Foods. Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
This baby will get your heart racing as much as your slick new devices do. Switch to REV. No contracts, no data caps, no nonsense. Just all fiber internet all the time. Build your plan at letsrev.com. Let's Rev. Internet speed so fast, you're gonna need seatbelts for your sofa. Switch to REV. No contracts, no data caps, no nonsense. Just all fiber internet all the time. Build your plan at letsrev.com. Let's Rev.
Chris's Specialty Foods has been making Cajun meat products for almost 30 years. We do all the prep work so people can have home-cooked meals without spending all day in the kitchen. Everything is done ourselves. With 3 locations in Louisiana and a 4th in Texas, we needed all of them connected to the same system for point of sale and telephone. REV Business set us up, and it's been a game changer. They have everything as national companies, but with real local service. REV Business is authentic Louisiana, just like Chris's.
We're back for the Rev Game of the Week. As the pregame ceremony is about to begin, we are at Dutchtown High School for Sanoma at Dutchtown, a very important game in District 5-5A, as Dutchtown hoping to catch Sanoma in the district standings, and Sanoma trying to remain perfect on the season. And as you can see right now, you see the Dutchtown Sound about to take the field, and they will perform here at midfield in just a moment. So we're going to go to them, and then after that, we expect to get the senior ceremony. You can see them lined up at the 45-yard line to the left, the players and the parents. So we are just about ready to go. But what we'll do right now is we're going to take it to the field, and we're going to get the introduction from the Dutchtown Sound, led by Sheely Bell and Daniel Modenbach.
the night that we honor the football players and staff who will be graduating in 2024. First, number 2, Tyler Adams, son of Angelique Keller and Aaron Adams and V, being escorted by his parents and stepdad. Number 12, Ethan Oquin. Ethan is the son of Corey and Jerry Siraj, being escorted by his parents. Number 9, Brennan Baker, son of Elise Baker and Brandy Booster, being escorted by his parents and brother. Number 21, Blake Bowie, son of Nicole and Adrian Bowie, being escorted by his parents. Number 64, Chase Cagnalosi, being the son of Allison and Philip Cagnalosi, being escorted by his parents, stepmother, and brother. Number 25, Grant Danicola, son of Dale Danicola, being escorted by his father, sister, and nephew. Number 83, Dylan DeSherry. Dylan is the son of Luke and Cindy DeSherry, being escorted by his parents and his sister. Number 4, Gary Dukes III, son of Gary Dukes Jr. and Kenesha Albatron, being escorted by his parents. Number 73, Carrington Gilliard, son of LaCreta Johnson and Timothy Gilliard, being escorted by his parents. Number 66, Taylor Graham, son of Kimberly and Joshua Graham, being escorted by his parents. And by the way, happy birthday, Taylor. Number 61, Jaden Green, son of Latoya and Vernell Green, being escorted by his parents. Number 22, Carter Hanbury, son of Katie and Jacob Hanbury, being escorted by his parents. Number 17, Jeremy Jackson, son of Sharon and Kenny Jackson, being escorted by his parents. Number 1, Caden Mackey, son of Cornelius and Erica Mackey, being escorted by his parents, brother and sister. Number 15, Michael Mathern, son of Jolene and Michael Mathern Sr., being escorted by his parents. Number 3, Logan Mayhew. Logan is the son of Tracy and Dustin Mayhew, being escorted by his parents. Number 8, Drew Reneker, son of Mike and Melissa Reneker, being escorted by his parents and brother. Number 59, Andrew Riggins, son of Ashley and Andrew Riggins, being escorted by his parents. Number 28, Riker Rogers, son of Celeste Rogers, being escorted by his mother. Number 5, Chaz Smith. Chaz is the son of Letitia Lewis Smith and Joseph Smith III, being escorted by his parents and brother. Number 11, Jagger Smith, son of Jennifer and Bretton Smith, being escorted by his parents and brother. Number 0, Diego Spears, son of Maria Spears, being escorted by his mother. Number 99, Zion Tremont, son of Ashley and Melissa Tremont, being escorted by his parents. Number 85, Christopher Williams, son of Derek and Solonda Williams, being escorted by his parents. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2024 senior football players. Now our trainers. Megan Colley. Megan is the daughter of Neosha Cordotes, being escorted by her mother. Matthias Combs, son of Candace Combs, being escorted by his mother. Jack Kelly, son of Kate and Richard Kelly, being escorted by his parents and grandpa. Malane Ryder, parents of Jennifer and Melissa Ryder, being escorted by parents and sister. Lanai Scott, daughter of Philip and Laconga Scott, being escorted by parents. Trevor Springer, son of Deborah and Warren Springer, being escorted by parents and aunt. Kirsten Troop, daughter of Tony and Nikki Troop, being escorted by parents and brother. Kaylin Stubbs, daughter of Tavara Stubbs and Victoria Gatlin, being escorted by parents. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2024 senior trainers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the sports marketing. William Malaberger is the son of Shannon and Eric Malaberger, being escorted by parents. And Jude Smith, son of Candace Westine and Samson Smith, being escorted by his parents. Ladies and gentlemen, 2024 senior football and football staff.
So the ceremony has just about concluded. As you see, the final people on the field getting ready to take their photographs in front of the presentation right there, as the senior football players, senior athletic trainers, and senior sports media personnel have been introduced, and we are just about ready for the additional pregame ceremonies, and we're going to keep it here, and I'm going to have Coach Swag join me in just a second. But right now, let's start talking about some of what we're going to see tonight and some of the background and history between this great rivalry between Santa Ma and Dutchtown. And so let's look at the all-time series game notes. And one of the things that's going to stick out, I guess, at the beginning is Dutchtown has dominated this series by the records. They lead by a total of 13-5, but in the last 7 or 8 matchups, Santa Ma has a winning record, and so it's kind of a streaky kind of thing. Dutchtown won 7 or 8 in a row. As you see right there, they've met every year since 2005, with the exception of 2020 when the game was canceled due to COVID-19. Dutchtown won the first 10, and the first 4 were played at the pit. But after that 10-game winning streak by Dutchtown, it's been Santa Ma leading 5-3. So Santa Ma has kind of evened things up since the early run by Dutchtown High School. Dutchtown leads in points scored 547 to 401. That's averaging a little bit more than a touchdown more than Santa Ma in the series. Home field, Dutchtown 6-2 at Griffin Field, and Santa Ma is 3-7 lifetime at the Pit. And this one, of course, being played at Griffin Field, and we expect a really good matchup. Let's talk about the coaches now while we have the time. And you got two coaches that have been here for a while. Of course, Coach O, David Oliver, is the head man at Santa Ma for 16 years. It doesn't seem like it, but he's been there since 2008, year 16 at Santa Ma. Overall record of 99-66, and of course, what stands out right there is if he can get the win tonight against Dutchtown, he is going to get career win number 100 at Santa Ma, and his overall record at Dutchtown is 5-10, but he has a winning record in the last 8. Then you got Guy Mastretta, who took over from Benny Saya at Dutchtown. He's only been here 7 years, but that's been a while. So he's 43-26 overall. Very successful coach here at Dutchtown High School. Overall, against Santa Ma, he has a winning record, 3-2. So an interesting matchup between two well-respected coaches here in Ascension Parish. And now we're going to be joined by Coach David Swacker as we get to the overall District 5-5A records, because we talked about this. This is a very important game in District 5-5A. As Santa Ma, you'll see on the graphic, is 7-0, 2-0 overall. They are the top dog in District 5-5A right now. They have the targets on their back, and they're going to see a good team in Dutchtown tonight. You see them 5-1 and 1-1 overall. But between them, you have Walker, who's 6-1, 2-0 in district. So right now, Santa Ma and Walker are the top two teams in the district. Dutchtown's in the middle with Live Oak, who's 3-3 and 1-1. And then you had two teams that had a share of the title last year at the bottom. Denham Springs at 3-4, 0-2. We saw them last week lose 14-7 to Santa Ma, and then East Ascension lost to Walker last week. You see that those numbers right there. They lost to Walker 33-14, 1-6 and 0-2 overall. And Coach Swack, something that needs to be brought up right here. If Santa Ma can keep their season perfect and win tonight and get to 8-0 and 3-0, Walker's playing Live Oak. That's a game they could win. They could go to 7-1 and 3-0 in district. And if that happens next week, those two teams meet, and that game potentially between Santa Ma and Walker could be for a district title.
There's no doubt about that. But boy, right when you're reading those marks, the pain that I have in my mind is going 0-3 against Dutchtown, and the job that Benny Saya did at Dutchtown, which was tremendous. And so we're fixing to have the national anthem, and then first we'll have a prayer by Julia Menville. She's a senior cross-country runner and a track participant and also a member of the FCA.
Well, I believe Dutchtown, the football team, still has to come out before that happens. They have the tunnel, and it looks like the cheer team is ready and to send them out. So that's going to be our next thing, and then the Dutchtown Sound will do the alma mater and the national anthem.
But, leading on to some things that I was discussing there, when this district became something that was going to happen, and thank goodness to the superintendent in Livingston Parish.
And remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem by the Dutchtown Sound. But first, our invocation brought to you by Miss Julie Menville, a senior here at Dutchtown, a member of the cross-country team track in FCA.
All right, dear Father, I just want to start by thanking you. Thank you for the beautiful weather. Thank you for our community. And I thank you for your unconditional love. I pray that tonight you would equip these players with strength and allow them to play their best. In our weakness, you are strong. I also pray that you would keep everyone safe tonight. Would you place your protecting hand on these players and keep injuries out of sight? Let tonight's game go well and be glorifying to you in every way. And of course, let us have fun. Above all, though, let us not forget all the things you've done. You are so good, and we love you, Father. I pray all these things in your name. Amen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem by the Dutchtown Sound.
And so we are getting ready to have the Dutchtown Griffin football team take the field, but here is the alma mater. And so now I believe we're just about ready for the Griffins to take the field. And sorry, Coach, as they head to the field, as Ted Babbitt introduces them, Coach, we've had to interrupt you twice in mid-thought as you were going to talk about some of the interesting things about 5A.
Just talking about, just the job that Benny Saya did to get this school underway with all the success they had. And then, of course, it was, I was on the other end of that with the non-success or whatever. But anyway, I really, truly believe when they put this district together, and boy, I like the situation where the superintendents got together, all the principals got together, and Ascension and Livingston Parish, and they said they went to the LHSA, and this is what we want. And I just truly believe that in every sport, and a lot of people, when you talk about stuff like this, you talk about football only, but in every sport, you can have a lot of great athletic events and games, meets, matches, and it's something that I just truly believe you have two districts that are about as equal as can be, and you say, well, here we go, we got this game tonight. Both of these teams are up in the rankings.
Yes.
And you never know what's going to happen because you only have a few weeks left, and a lot of things could change in those 2 to 3 weeks.
And you bring that up. Tonight is a top 10 matchup in the power rankings for Division 1 non-select, and so we'll get into all of the power rankings a little bit later.
All right, gentlemen, you've been asked to be captains tonight. A certain amount of responsibility comes with that, correct? Any questions on it? Good. Shake hands, introduce yourselves. Gentlemen, we're going to use a state championship coin tonight. This will be the coin used in December in the Superdome. We all want to be there, correct? All right. You're going to be the visiting team, so you'll call the toss. Home team, that's a head, that's a tail. Visiting team, head, tail. What do you want?
Twos.
What was it?
Twos.
What did he say? Coach has already flipped. You won the toss. You want the ball, correct? And your coach said you want to kick from the clock, correct? Okay. So stand over there and look at me. Stand over here and look at me. You're good. You're good.
So Santa Ma is going to receive the opening kickoff, and Dutchtown will kick to start this game. So right now we're going to go and take a look at Santa Ma's starting offense, as they're going to be on the field first, and they're going to be led by their sophomore quarterback, number 14, Cooper Babin. And you're going to see some good running backs tonight, most notably possibly number 4, Kyron Kraft, and number 19, Tyree Williams. Receivers, Luke Raffray, Jermichael Million, number 3, and Easton Jaro, number 83. Offensive line, Jet Lemoyne, Seth Guidry, Cooper Cheatwood, Elijah Thornton, and Dominic Vizzini. And so that's your offensive starters for Santa Ma. And while we have a moment, we can go through the Dutchtown defensive starters as well. They play a 3-4 defense. Defensive line, Zion Tremont, Diego Spears, and Josh Lewis. Linebackers, Blake Bowie, Mason Miles, Brennan Baker, and Carter Hanberry. Riker Rogers and Lathan Riley at cornerback, and safeties, Jeremy Jackson and Caden Mackey. And that defense led by defensive coordinator Chris Harrell, and Santa Ma's offense led by offensive coordinator Seth Babin. And we are ready for the opening kickoff, and that's going to be Manuel Cardona to kick for the Griffins, and we are underway. And it's going to go bounce to the 2, and then it's picked up by Santa Ma, and they're not going to get to the 10, as you see Carter Hanberry down there and Highland Riddance, number 26. And that's a good start for Dutchtown on special teams, Coach.
Yeah, look, sometimes you're thinking, well, if it's a short kick, we ought to have a very good return. But when it bounces, it takes those tricky bounces, or if it goes into the end zone, that ball's going out to the 20-yard line right there. They kind of got caught, the Gators did. A nice return coverage by the Griffins right there. To basically got a long ways to go to score here.
First down from the 9, and it's a fake and a pass complete, and gets about 4. That is number 12. Then that's Raffray for a short gain, and it's going to be second, and we're going to say 5. They're going to spot the ball at the 14-yard line. We're just underway, no score. Dutchtown hosting Santa Ma. Santa Ma wearing the white, and Dutchtown all black tonight.
Well, a little bit longer yardage there. Looks like they got about 5, and
a handoff up the middle, and that's going to be maybe a short gain, maybe back to the line of scrimmage, as Williams takes a carry up the middle for no gain, and it's going to be 3rd down and 5.
Well, right here, this is exactly what Guy Mastretta wants. A turnover in this situation, snap over the head, possibly if they have to punt, and just a very short punt might create a swapping of the field right here where they'll get the ball inside the 50.
And Babin is going to look right, complete. Hanberry misses a tackle, another tackle miss, and he's not going to get to the first down marker, as he's wrapped up by Caden Mackey, as Jermichael Million tried to get free but could not, and it's 4th down.
Boy, watch coming across right there, the little shallow route.
There we go again.
And very good coverage. Looked like a zone defense there. And great job there by number 22, Carter Hanberry, not allowing McMillian to get down the field. Needed 1 more yard for first down.
And that punt nearly blocked, and it's going to take a sideways bounce, and It'll go right into the hands of number 27, Ronald Guillory, who will down it right there. And so you just alluded to it, Coach. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the Santa Maria side of the field for the Dutchtown Griffins as we take a look at the offensive starters for the Griffins, led by offensive coordinator Michael Janis, Ethan O'Quinn at quarterback, Gary Dukes at running back, receivers Tyler Adams, Logan Mayo, Casey McCoy, Dylan DeSherry at tight end, Matthew Travis, Jaden Green, Chase Cancelosi, Dawson Davis, Taylor Graham on the offensive line, and we are ready to go 1st and 10.
Well, both teams playing this 3-man front. A lot of times it could change to a 4 or 5-man front.
And there's a little swing to Dukes. Breaks a tackle, but can't get past the second wave. It's going to be about 2nd and 8. Let's look at the Santa Maria defense while we have a chance. 3-4. They are led on the line by Jai Joseph, Cohen Rock, and Cameron Hill. Linebackers, Braxton Trabo, Anthony Salzarulo, Damon Smith, Thomas Leonard. DBs, Caleb Bricks, Braxton Spite, Lane Swanson, and Ja'Cory Sanders. And it's 2nd down and 8, and they'll look to the sidelines for the call.
And you see that linebacker cheating up. And then, of course, coming back. Everybody's kind of moving a little bit, and here they come.
Shotgun, and it's knocked down. And a good job by Braxton Trabo.
Trabo was cheating up, and then your quarterback did a good job, Ethan O'Quinn, of checking the sidelines, and it looks like the Gators won that hand right there.
So 3rd and long, and this is what Dwayne Thomas's defense likes to see. 3rd and long, 3rd in a low percentage conversion situation. You got the tight end, DeSherry, in a slot to the right with 2 receivers, 1 to the left. And he's going to run, and he's going to get a couple, but that's way short of a 1st down. So it's going to be 4th and about 6. So a big stop by the Santa Maria defense, and the punting unit's coming in.
Well, Jeff, this is what I guarantee you, if you talk to both head coaches, this is what they're expecting. A defensive battle by both teams, and you kind of saw that in 2 different situations, one where it's 1st and 10 going 90, and then on the other side, 1st and 10 having to go 50. Nobody converts a 1st down.
So back-to-back 2-and-outs. You said a mouthful there, Coach. And Casey McCoy is going to punt. It's a good punt. Fair catch called for. He's going to let it bounce, and it takes a fortunate bounce for Santa Maria as it rolls into the end zone for the touchback. So good decision by the punt returner to let that one go.
And, just a coaching point, fair catch is called, and somebody might say, well, he didn't catch the ball. No, but he camouflaged his movement like he was stepping up, which maybe slows down the rush.
Yes.
And goes over his head. And, of course, most bounces on this turf are going to be really nice for whoever's throwing or kicking the ball.
1st and 10 from the 20. Santa Maria gets better field position in their 2nd drive, and Cooper Babin flushed, rolls out, looking downfield, wide open, and caught Jermichael Million. 1st down to the 36.
Well, I kind of missed that because I was looking in the coverage right there. Everybody's kind of locked up man to man. Cooper does a good job of scrambling out, just kind of throwing a little bit across his body. And I promise you on that route, I'm not real sure if Jamaica was supposed to come across the field on a little square in, but able to maneuver around for a big pickup and a 1st down.
So 1st and 10 from the 36. Our first down of the night. Kyron Kraft gets about 5. And so good yardage on 1st down, taken down by Tremont and Spears.
Big part of offense right here, getting some yardage. Neither one of the backs, everybody's got a few hundred yards rushing. And to see what is going to happen tonight, the rushing is going to be a big part of it, Jeff. Some people talk about, some big plays in the rushing game. I'm not sure you'll see that. But that's something that could be interesting to see what happens.
Well, Diego Spears just made something interesting happen. Wrapped up Kyron Kraft right after he got the ball, and that's a loss of about 2 or maybe 3. It's going to be 3rd down, and we're going to call that 8.
Well, Dutchtown outstanding right there with that 3-man front. And
big Diego Spears right there.
And basically Spears at that center, that nose guard spot. Outstanding job right there.
He's a senior, still trying to get a scholarship. They've been trying to push that very hard. And pressure and a sack. And that came in really fast. Blake Bowie, delayed blitz, got him. That's going to be 4th down and long for the Gators.
Oh, that's 21. That's outside linebacker. On the left side, Blake Bowie doing a good job on the stunt.
Thought I saw something interesting there, Coach. It was 4th down, and they kind of had a quick snap to the punter. The previous punt was nearly blocked, and now a late flag is going to come in on the field. But I think Santa Maria might have been worried about the pressure, wanted to get the punt off as quickly as possible to avoid any pressure from the punt blocking unit. We're going to see what the penalty is. That happened a good 1 or 2 seconds after the play was over. See 2 flags on the field.
Well, the referee is going to give us a signal here.
So a substitution penalty. And it may have just been that Dutchtown was getting late onto the field, and that might be another reason why they snapped it to get the 5 yards, because I think they might have had two guys on the back to receive the punt, possibly, because that's about where the flags were thrown. So they're going to get an extra 5 yards. So this is going to turn out really well for Santa Maria. Actually, it's a 15-yard substitution violation. So Santa Maria comes out smelling like a rose right here.
So I guess my thought would be, if you had a 4th and 4, would you go back here and get an automatic 1st down? What you think?
I don't know. I think they probably making the right choice with their defense. Their defense has been outstanding in their first 2 district games. They might want to just see if they can pin them back right there.
They didn't take that penalty because it was 4th and about 18.
Yeah, exactly. But that would be hard to convert on that side of the field. You'd be in a really tough situation if you did not convert. I think that's probably the rationale right there. And on 1st down, you see Dukes, not much. Bunch of Gators on defense, and they can find the ball very quickly, and they swarm around it. And you see, look at that. Let's see down there at the bottom, number 95 for Santa Maria making the tackle, Jai Joseph.
And, the 3 guys, you talk about Rock, Joseph, and Hill, and it's the same situation with Dutchtown. Those guys have got to create some type of havoc on that offensive line.
You're going to say you got 1 2nd and 9, and it's a keeper, and that's not good for Dutchtown. He's going to be taken down by number 32, Damon Smith.
I like the way the Gators right there with outside linebacker Trabo. He said, you stand him up over there, and that's Damon Smith, and Trabo had a kind of a free shot at the quarterback right there, Ethan Oakway, doing a heck of a job holding on to that ball, and now they get into the shotgun.
3rd and long, and this is not Dutchtown's specialty. They like to run. They're a short yardage team. Quick pass, little bubble screen caught. I believe that's Mayu, and he's going to get about 5 or 6, but that's going to be well short of a 1st down.
And this is the defensive tackle or defensive end, whatever you want to call him, coming off the block and coming into the secondary to make the tackle there for the Gators, and Kyron Hill.
So good.
Very
defense.
Good job right there.
This team can find the ball and pursue really well. And now we're going to get another punt. So punt number 4, we're only 8 minutes into this game. And there's a snap. It's a good one, and he gets it away, and it's a decent punt. Be taken at the 34 and getting outside, and that's Raffray past midfield. Good patient return. He's all the way down inside the 40. And Santa Ma's going to have great field position on this punt return.
And, you've heard me every week talk about this. Jeff, the main job the deep guy has to do is catch the ball.
Yep.
Referee, outstanding right there.
And you see a flag on the field back at the 36-yard line. That's near the end of the return, so they're sorting that out. We'll see what they call right there.
Well, you could, if it's involved in a tackle, it might be a face mask. But if it's involved in the run, it might be a hold.
And the referee's coming to the middle of the field to sort it out. And the penalty is going to be against the Gators. They're actually offsetting penalties. So a little bit of unsportsmanlike right there.
And I'm sure that, I'm not real certain what that had to be from. But, the Gator players on the sideline are getting excited for Rafferty. He does a good job on the return. But basically it looks like it's going to be just maybe a spot foul. And the Gators go 1st and 10 from wherever that action happened.
So it looks like it's going to be the 39-yard line. So now the
39-yard line.
The crew will set up, and they are now ready. 3:46 left to go in the first quarter. No score.
See
Santa
Coach
Maria
Oliver
Dutchtown.
on that sideline there.
Great shot. Looking for win number 100 tonight.
99 wins. Wow.
And that's Williams, and he is going to take Diego Spears for a ride, but only gets a yard. So it's going to be 2nd and 9. That front three is doing a good job so far for the Griffins. That's Diego Spears. We called him a couple of times. You've seen Zion Tremont, Josh Lewis all doing a good job.
You think about it, boy, this could come down to extra points and field goals, this game here.
Well, Santa Ma's been playing in some low-scoring games, and this might be another one as the pass is caught by Million, and they get inside the red zone. So they may have something going right here as Jeremy Jackson eventually makes the tackle, but that's 3 catches by Million so far.
Million comes from across the field, basically trying to get 4 verticals there. He wasn't really vertical. Maybe he was just trying to get into that spot. And nice little pitch and catch by Babin to Million.
That's his favorite target. Most of the catches you've seen while Babin has been quarterback have been to Million and Jaro. And they have a 1st and 10 in the red zone at the 18-yard line trying to strike first.
Well, here comes some activity right here.
Yep, and he runs right into the heart of it, and it's not going to get much. That's Tyree Williams, and he's going to lose a yard. 2nd down, ball almost to the 20-yard line, 2:21 left to go in the first. And so we have a substitution coming in. Actually, somebody trying to throw their towel, and one offensive lineman is going to head out.
Well, they're going to doubles formation, and there's nobody in the middle of the field, so it's man-to-man everywhere.
Babin under pressure, then he's down. I believe that was Spears maybe who got there. Let's see. Let's look at the replay and see who was able to get a hand on him. So you see the shotgun. Dutchtown getting good pressure. That's his 2nd sack, and it was Spears. And maybe number 45 got in there as well. That's Mason Miles at linebacker.
Basically, when the purpose of a stunt, Jeff, is you want to bring maybe 5-on-5 or 6-on-5, and the 6 being defensively, or 7. And as a quarterback, we'll see what happens here.
3rd down and 18, and what a job by Mason Miles as he's able to detect the screen pass and keep that from being a big gain.
Well,
so
watch Babin right here, getting some distance where he can't get blocked down. Nice play right there by Dutchtown as far as tackling, because that had possibilities of getting a 1st down there.
But we're going to see a field goal, and we saw Easton Jaro hit these during warm-ups. 41-yarder from the right hash, and it's up, and it's looking right, and it's no good, and it was a little bit short as well. So Dutchtown dodges the first bullet of the night. Still no score, 26 seconds left to go in the first. So that was the deepest penetration for either team so far tonight, but no points as Dutchtown pressure got to the offense.
Well, you know, in this day and age, everybody kind of gets excited about offenses, spread offense and everything else. But, you know, Dwayne Thomasy at Santa Ma is doing an outstanding job, and Chris Harrell at Dutchtown, outstanding job, and their group, because look, you give up a big play, everybody's looking around to see who the cornerback's parents are or whatever. And here, you know, with both defenses are playing well to start this thing.
And that's a big play as a new running back comes in the game, Lakedron Harvey, and that was read really well by number 2, Lane Swanson, and holds him to no gain. This is probably going to be the final play of the first quarter. They're at the line, but there's only 8 seconds left. So I think we're going to maybe wrap up the quarter. Now the clock has stopped. Now it's down to 2. Okay, so, and you can see the clock kind of staggering a little bit, but we're at 0 now. And so the quarter's over. No score. Santa Ma, Dutchtown. We'll take a break. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
Chris's Specialty Foods has been making Cajun meat products for almost 30 years. We do all the prep work so people can have home-cooked meals without spending all day in the kitchen. Everything is done ourselves. With 3 locations in Louisiana and a 4th in Texas, we needed all of them connected to the same system for point of sale and telephone. Rev Business set us up, and it's been a game changer. They have everything as national companies, but with real local service. Rev Business is authentic Louisiana, just like Chris's.
And the second quarter ready to begin. Jeff Porsche, David Swacker with you. No score, Santa Ma and Dutchtown in a big District 5-5A Ascension Parish rivalry. Last week in District 5-5A, both of these teams won. On Thursday night, Dutchtown beat Live Oak 30-16. Santa Ma defeated Denham Springs 14-7, where we were, Coach. Rev Game of the Week. And Walker with the big win over East Ascension 33-14.
And, you know, that Dutchtown win, it came on strong at the end over Live Oak, and boy, Walker, you know, just got after East Ascension pretty tough. And, of course, big defensive game between Denham and Santa Ma.
Second down, and it's a quarterback keeper, and he gets about 2, maybe 3. But another good job by the Santa Ma defense. I believe that's Jai Joseph down there near the bottom of the pile. Let's look at the replay, Coach.
A fake and go right there. You pull on the guard and tackle. And you got to hit those plays, you know, with a pretty good defense on both sides pretty quick.
3rd and 7 after the 3-yard gain. Looking to the sideline, you see on the left side you got
Thomas Leonard. Look at him. He was cheating up. Coach, you want me to go? Watch him take those steps forward.
2 receivers to the left, and they're going to give it to Harvey, and he's waiting for blockers, and he's got a first down. And big run by Lakedron Harvey. He is the backup, but he's probably the fastest player on the team. He's a track star. A couple of the Santa Ma coaches were calling for a hold right there, but did not get the call, and it looked like a close call right there. I'll leave it like that, and it's 1st and 10 at the 36.
Is this first down for Dutchtown?
For Dutchtown, yes. Santa Ma's got 2 or 3 so far. And a little swing to Harvey, and that is read really well. And I believe that was
just
Trabo.
Look, Jeff, just look defensively. You have 9 guys. Watch this. 9 guys around this ball right now. Right now, getting to the ball. You know, nobody's sitting there saying, oh, yeah, please tackle him, you know.
Yep.
So that's what you want as a defensive coach, that you got that pursuit drill, you work all these situations. And then I'm not necessarily knocking anything here, but that pass right there is a lateral.
Yes, it was.
And tough situations sometimes can create some problems for you.
Ooh, a low snap. And it's taken up the middle. Big hole by Harvey. And he's fast. He can't get quite through the hole, though. And it's taken away. And Sanama has the ball. And that's what Sanama does. They're opportunistic, and they make turnovers. And it's picked up by Caleb Ricks. And that's a big play that turns into a big turnover.
Watch this offensive line. Good job, Harvey. Straight through the hole right there. Getting after it. Ball's a little bit low and kind of gets knocked out, I believe.
That was Ja'Cory Sanders, I think, number 8.
Number 8, Sanders knocks it out. And lo and behold, one of the Gators said, look what I found.
Yeah, and that's at least the second fumble in the season. He had a big fumble late in the game against Ponchatoula that nearly cost the Griffins, but the defense was able to hold on. That was a game they won 6-0. And now it's 1st and 10 at the 31, and a quick pass overthrown, trying to get to Million on the sideline, little square, covered by number 21 for Dutchtown, Blake Bowie. So that we saw that at the end of the game last week. You had a strip that late in the game that cost Denham Springs while they were trying to drive, and Sanama, it kind of changed the momentum of that game late.
The defender came from behind and just kind of knocked that ball out.
Yep.
You know, you watch enough football, you'll see it numerous times every week.
2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 12. As you see Bowie again down at the bottom of the pile, and looks like Josh Lewis as well. So you were talking about it, Coach. You expect a defensive struggle, and that's exactly what we're getting so far. Defense is playing outstanding.
It may come down to which defense is on the field the longest, maybe get a little tired. But on 3 and outs, you know, it kind of inspires the defense because that's always their goal.
So now 3rd and 12. 4 receivers. Babin's getting instructions to Million. He told him to get in the slot. He was wide right. Pressure, sacked again. As that's Spears and number 9, Brendan Baker. They'll share honors for that one. That's the 3rd sack of the night for the Griffins.
Well, a linebacker came late. Good job there by number 9. And that's Brendan Baker. Linebacker came on a late stunt.
And a good punt by Jaro. And it's going to go over the head of the returner. He gets it at the 33, but now he's pinned back. And that's a tough break as Lathan Riley, at least he holds on to the ball, but he's moving nothing but backwards right there.
Well, when you have to run in the opposite direction to catch it, and you can't get around, you can't get enough speed to get around or get to a wall. Good job there by the coverage by the Gators.
So we are 8:30 left to go before halftime. No score between Dutchtown and Sanama. And a reminder, as we approach halftime very quickly here, only 8.5 minutes left to go. At halftime, we're going to see the Dutchtown Sound perform, and then we're going to have an interview with the new Prairieville principal, Randy Loving, and he's going to talk about some issues with districting and other things that you want to be able to stay tuned for. As you see, Gary Dukes cuts outside and gets free close to a 1st down. He might be there looking at the spot, and he is, in a 1st down for the Griffins. Did a good job cutting outside. And that's what happens when you got a team that pursues the ball like that. If you cut outside, they might be able to get some yardage.
That will happen from time to time. You pursue into that ball carrier, and all of a sudden he pops out. Good job there by Dukes getting outside, picking up 10 on the play.
So Dutchtown had a long run on their previous drive by LaKeedron Harvey, but he fumbled and it was recovered by Caleb Ricks. And on 1st and 10, short gain, maybe a yard, before taking down by Damon Smith.
It's about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Griffins.
At the wide side of the field to the right.
There's Dukes in the backfield with Oquin. You see DeSherry in the backfield, kind of that sniffer spot. 2 receivers right. Low snap, quick pass. Adams, and that is taken down for a loss. Good pursuit by the DB, Ja'Cory Sanders.
Now that's a play, it's hard for me to understand this because it's a throw all the way across the field. And if you don't block that outside guy, then you don't have a play. I mean, Mayu should have went to that corner, right, or the most dangerous man, and give your receiver time to be an athlete.
And the clock running, 7:08. And you talk about that could have been picked off if you didn't have a little bit of mustard on that one. 3rd down, and Oakland pressure, rolls out. He may run. Good block downfield by Dukes. I don't think he's going to get to the 1st down marker, though. He's going to be about 2 yards shy. But Dukes took his man out, and that got him a couple of extra yards, but not quite
Dukes
enough.
Turn up the field. Then he turns around, throws a block right here.
There was another block.
And Oquan does a good job getting down the field. Now you have a 4th and 2 situation.
And they're going for it. Santa Maria looks like they're lined up off sides on the right side. Now he backs up a little bit, but it's close. The right end may be off sides right here. Let's see if they throw a flag. They may just be trying to get him off.
Well, they wouldn't throw. They'd throw the flag down.
Yeah, because they're gonna.
You don't have to.
Yeah, you mean he didn't. The ball was not snapped.
You line up offsides. It's offsides.
Mm-hmm. That's but they called a timeout. It was pretty close. I don't know if you noticed that. You noticed what I noticed there, Coach.
Yeah.
But it was pretty close. The far right person on the line was right there.
So if he comes in there and he lines up off sides,
yes,
because you don't have to snap the ball in National Federation rules. You have to snap it in college and in the pros with them offsides. So if you line up, or if you get, let's just say you're not offsides and you step across, that's the same situation as you have right here.
Makes sense.
And
so let's see what's happening as they're going to opt for the punt. So going to get number 10, Casey McCoy, who's had a couple of good punts here so far this evening.
yeah, we have one person deep. And so that makes me think maybe try to block it. Yeah, maybe so.
Well, they were able to pick up Trabo, and it bounces, and a good bounce inside the 10. Good punt by McCoy. This has been a fun one so far. If you like defense, Coach.
I like, this is an interesting game, and what the big thing is, when it comes to this, it's defense, yeah. It's turnovers, yeah. And something that we haven't quite mentioned enough yet because we haven't had anything happening is what's going to happen on special teams.
Right.
And
so
right off the bat, Santa Maria misses I think it was a 42-yard field goal.
Yes.
And by Gyro. But we've had some pretty good punting by both teams.
And there's a handoff on 1st down, and not much. As Williams might have scooted across the 10 and gets a yard, so it's going to bring up 2nd down and 9. We're approaching the halfway point, just past the halfway point now or not quite there. We're 6:15, excuse me, as we still have no score. Santa Maria trying to stay unbeaten, and we're going to talk about the unbeaten teams in the state in just a moment, but they're trying to remain one of the few undefeateds. Right now they're in a hole Second and 9.
Empty formation here.
Million goes in motion. And pressure. And setting up the pass. Caught. And that's a first down, I believe. He stayed in bounds. That's a good job doing the sideline by Gyro.
Gyro, they talk about this guy being a multi-sport guy, and that right there tells me he's a tough guy.
Yep.
That's not a sport. Nice job there in the defensive back there by number 5. And that's Chaz Smith.
So now you get a quick pass to Raffray and breaks one tackle but can't get past the second wave as Riker Rogers is going to make the tackle right there. And so that's going to be 2nd and 12 after a 2-yard loss. So let's see. First man on the coverage was number 1, Caden Mackey. Ball at the 30-yard line. Shotgun. Babin looking left, trying to get to Raffray and just overthrows him by a couple of yards. Had good coverage there by Riker Rogers, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and long.
I like the thought right there by Seth Babin. I just think that both teams have beat each other to death with some short passes, and especially that little quick screen pass. And here you are throwing it down the field, and, whatever can happen defensively, interception or incomplete pass. And on the other side, offensively, you catch the ball, or you could be interfered with. So some good things can happen on that long throw. And bad.
So empty backfield and just has to get rid of it, and up for grabs. And there's an interference flag as Riker Rogers took down the receiver Raffray, and that was a no-doubter and gonna help out.
Watch what Cooper does right here.
The Gators.
Does not get caught in the backfield, throws it up. Again, what I just got through saying, sometimes when you throw it deep, the good things that could happen for you are going to be on the offensive side is interference, and on the defensive side, incomplete pass or interception.
So
it just so happens it worked in favor of the Gators on that play for first down.
15-yard penalty, and Rogers, that was a no doubt about it pass interference call. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. So Sandoval out the hole. Pressure from behind by Bowie. Still being pursued, and he gets it away as Bowie takes him down. And so I believe he avoids the grounding call right there.
I'm not going to – he's got to throw it past that line of scrimmage.
So he may have had the intended receiver in the area, Gyro.
The pass is incomplete. It'll bring us 2nd down.
But that was dangerous and a good pursuit there by Blake Bowie from the right edge. And so they're going to go bring it back to the original line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Reminder, at halftime, we'll have the Dutchtown Sound perform and then an interview with Randy Loving, the new principal at Prairieville High School. And there's a handoff to Williams, and he gets some good yardage. And look at this. He cuts outside and gets about 7 before Bowie takes him down. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and fairly short.
Tyree, watch this. Gets caught up right there. Keeps moving those feet. Good job there. 21 on the tackle, Blake Bowie.
And he was a difference maker last week when they were down to 1 running back, and he broke a 50-yard gain with about 4 minutes left to go in the game that really flipped the field and helped Santa Maria seal a victory. 3rd down and 3. Babin from the shotgun. Million nearly falls down, and now they go across the middle. And, that was nearly picked by Carter Hanberry. And so it's going to be incomplete in a 4th down situation for Santa Maria, and they're going to punt. Just everybody comes in on the blitz. They're trying to get it to number 18 right there, Reed Myers, or Mayers, excuse me. And Jaro will punt. And this is a shorter punt, but he's going to let it roll, and he has to get away from it now. And look, a great bounce. And how many times have we seen this? Did they get it down at the 1? No, they're calling a touchback. And so nearly down it inside the 5-yard line again. And so it's going to be 1st and 10 for Dutchtown. And while we have a moment here, we talked about the Santa Maria Gators being undefeated. Look at the undefeated teams remaining, and they're in some elite company right now.
Well,
Destrehan, East St. John, Ruston, and Zachary.
And look, let me just tell you, the big thing about this, you know, you got Destrehan and East St. John in the same district. Everybody else is not. Ruston, you don't have West Monroe, and the Devils, of course, they in 4A, or Washita, Santa Maria right there, and Zachary. So it's going to be interesting to see, because at the end of the year, it's amazing in 5A how many teams will be undefeated, and most of the time it's only a couple.
Right, and one of those teams is going to lose, as you alluded to, because East St. John and Destrehan are going to have to play. And now here's Harvey. He's back in the game after the turnover, and he breaks a long one for a 1st down. Goes out of bounds. Ball squirts away, but it goes out of bounds harmlessly, and he is taken out by number 2, Lane Swanson. So we haven't seen a lot of offense so far. The longest play resulted in a turnover for Dutchtown, but they haven't really come close to getting a scoring opportunity so far. 1st and 10, 39-yard line, 3:12 left to go. And looking for the swing, and it's deflected. I believe that was Cameron Hill, 86. And they're going to call that a pass, incomplete.
Let's just see if it's the left tackle or left end. And I believe it's left end.
That's actually Trabo at the outside linebacker spot. Interesting story. Braxton Trabo, of course, starts for Santa Maria, a senior on that. His mom is an administrator at Dutchtown, Tara Trabo.
We're going to watch that real close at Santa Maria. Make sure no wishy-washy stuff happens here.
Yes. 2nd down and 10. And a handoff up the middle, and that's Harvey. No, that's not Dukes, excuse me. And second, third effort gets him to the 45, 6-yard gain.
Gets the ball to the 45-yard line.
And it looked like the first hands on him is Thomas Leonard, 44. 3rd and 4 with 2:50 left to go. This is a really fast-moving first half. Still no score. Big play here. Dutchtown trying to keep the drive alive. They've only been on the other side for one play, and now they're going to get there again as the ball to the 30, and he breaks a tackle, and he just got enough, and that might have saved the touchdown, as now Dutchtown gets to the 20. And let's look at that and see who made the potential touchdown-saving tackle right there. That was Ricks. And, I mean, he might have just got by a
job right there. But I'm going to tell you, it looked like 2 or 3 guys, and one being the tackle, the tight end right there on that play, did an outstanding job, Dylan DeSherry.
And there's going to be some additional yardage tacked on. As you see, I see DeSherry right there, and you see him trying to get his hands on Ricks. Did a good job not blocking him from behind, but there's a late unsportsmanlike call against Santa Maria. And so now Dutchtown has their first potential scoring opportunity right here. 1st down and goal, 2:16 left to go. Santa Maria had an opportunity but missed a field goal on that same side of the field in the first quarter. Now Harvey is going to get the ball, and no gain. Good pursuit by number 90, Cohen Rock.
He had Rock in there, and number 38.
Salzarulo.
Salzarulo.
So we're now inside of 2 minutes. And now you see the jumbo package, as you see Carter Hanberry in the backfield. Out of the Wildcat. Runs inside to the 5, and he is in for the touchdown. And Carter Hanberry scores for the Griffins.
Hello, off tackle ISO right there. Outstanding blocking by the down lineman, but boy, the 3 backs did a good job of clearing things out.
The outside linebacker, Southeastern commit, scores first for the Griffins in the Wildcat. With 1:28 left to go and an extra point on the way by Michael Mathern. And it's good, I believe. Yes, it is. It's 7-0 Dutchtown. We'll take a break. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
Chris's Specialty Foods has been making Cajun meat products for almost 30 years. We do all the prep work so people can have home-cooked meals without spending all day in the kitchen. Everything is done ourselves. With 3 locations in Louisiana and a 4th in Texas, we needed all of them connected to the same system for point of sale and telephone. Rev Business set us up, and it's been a game changer. They have everything as national companies, but with real local service. Rev Business is authentic Louisiana, just like Chris's.
So with 1:28 left to go, it's Dutchtown leading Sanamaw 7-0, and they're going to kick from the 40-yard line. Cardona will do the honors.
And 25, Dunn back for the Gators.
So we are just about ready to go here.
Cardona kicking off for the Griffins.
So back to receive. Got a couple of Gators.
A second kickoff return for the Gators.
And it's a line drive, and it's going to go out of bounds, and that's a break for Sanamaw, and we'll keep it here as we change over. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to look at the non-select power rankings in 5A, and we talked about this being a top 10 matchup. Dutchtown is number 10. Sanamaw is number 3. They're actually tied for 2 with Neville, but Neville is ahead of them on the websites. Walker is number 5, and Sanamaw plays them next week. Then you got Live Oak, who's a solid 18. Denham Springs and East Ascension got some work to do, Coach.
And I'm going to tell you, last week, a majority of the principals are administrators. Some administrator from the school met. They passed the deal on what the definition of a select school is, and so there's no doubt they're going to get that straight right off the bat. You know, when it comes to these 28 teams that's going to go into the playoffs in each particular division.
So now the quick pass caught by Jaro, but there's the touchdown scoring Carter Hanberry making the tackle after a 3-yard gain, and it's going to be 2nd and 7, and the clock running. So that is going to play a big part. 106, 105 left to go.
And you have Sanamaw in 3rd in the power rankings, Walker in 5th, Dutchtown in 10th, Live Oak in 18th.
That's 4 teams solidly in right now. 2nd down and a couple of yards.
And Denham Springs in 31, so they're a little bit out of the 28 mark. And East Ascension is at 35. I think there's like 42. Is it 42? Or right around 42 select or non-select teams.
So Carter Hanberry, with that tackle on that earlier pass to Jaro, scored the first touchdown. That's his 3rd offensive touchdown of the season on just his 7th carry. 3rd down, quick pass, 1st down. for the Gators as Jaro makes a
Clock
catch.
a stop right here for a first down, and when everybody gets situated, the referee will get the clock rolling again. There it is.
And so now we're running with 7, 6, 5. And are they just going to take it to halftime? They are. And so our score at the half, Dutchtown 7, Santa Maria nothing. Reminder, we're going to get the Dutchtown sound to perform, and then we'll get a halftime interview with Randy Loving. And we'll take a short break. And you're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
Chris's Specialty Foods has been making Cajun meat products for almost 30 years. We do all the prep work so people can have home-cooked meals without spending all day in the kitchen. Everything is done ourselves. With 3 locations in Louisiana and a 4th in Texas, we needed all of them connected to the same system for point of sale and telephone. Rev Business set us up, and it's been a game changer. They have everything as national companies, but with real local service. Rev Business is authentic Louisiana, just like Chris's.
Welcome back to the Rev Game of the Week. I'm Jeff Porsche, and we see the Dutchtown Sound getting ready to set up on the field. And while they set up, and we're gonna see them perform as well, but we're gonna go straight to our halftime interview because we got a lot to talk about here tonight, and our guest is here ready to talk. And so we're gonna bring in Randy Loving, who is the newly appointed principal at the new school in Ascension Parish, Prairieville High School. And so, Randy, it's good to have you here. I know you're real busy all the time, but you took some time out for us, and we really appreciate that.
It's a pleasure to be here, Jeff. I'm honored that Rev has given us this opportunity so that we can start spreading our culture within our community. To get to do it during this game is really important for me, as that most of our kids will probably end up coming from Santa Maria and Dutchtown, and we look forward to starting to build culture very similar to the other schools in this parish.
Right, and we got you for this game because these two teams are playing, and as you would expect, these are the two schools that are going to be you're going to be drawing from the most. Although the lines have not been drawn yet. Can you tune us in on that?
Actually, Ms. Tisdale sent out a message today with the last 2 plans that are going forward. School board's going to vote on it in November. After that happens, students at their current high schools will get the opportunity to opt to stay at their current high schools. So next year, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders that are district for Prairieville High School would have the opportunity to stay at the high schools they're attending right now. This year's 8th graders, next year's freshmen, will go to whatever school is in their district now.
Okay, so what would they have to do if like, let's say you have a student at Dutchtown who is in the Prairieville district, they want to stay at the school. Tell us what specifically they have to do.
There's going to be a form that them and their parents have to fill out and send in to their home school right now.
Yes.
Students that do not do that are in Prairieville's district, will be assigned to Prairieville High School. The students that do fill out that form are filling out that form saying that they opt to stay at the school they are currently in. The big thing with that is that if they opt to stay at the school that they're currently in, they're going to have to provide transportation to that school.
Okay, so that's the one thing that they have to take care of. No bus.
Yeah, there will be no bus service to schools outside of your home-based parish.
Okay. Now, you see in the photos in the background, you have some of the renderings of what it's supposed to look like, and then Jeff Pyron provided us with some photos as well, and you took a lot of these photos of what it looks like right now. So if do you have anything you want to say about these things that we've seen so far?
What's up there right now is going to be our field house. The field house is going to have locker rooms for all the outside sports, so softball, baseball, track, soccer for boys and girls, football, and then freshman football. It's also going to have a training room. It looks really nice, and a weight room. That picture right there, that's up there right now, is the current state of that building. They're also already got the gravel down for the track and for the football field. There's not a pitcher, but on the back side of the field house is the baseball and softball field. The picture we're looking at right now is the rendition of the front of school. So you would see that as you're driving down Parker Road right now. It's designed to kind of look like a courthouse because Prairieville High School, we're going to be the Law Center. Santa Ma's Allied Health, Dutchtown's Pro Start, East Ascension is the Technology Center, so we're going to be the Law Center. That's what it currently is right now.
Yeah.
Again, those pictures were from Monday. And while the weather's been not really good for us because it's been really hot and really dry, it's been really good for construction.
Yeah.
I'd say we're on pace to open on time. Not just that, I'm looking forward to finishing soon enough to where we could possibly have some community stuff later in the summer so our students will be able to come on campus before school. What we're looking at now is to the right side where it says Home of the Hurricane is the cafeteria. The left side is our gym. The gym is actually going to be modeled kind of like the Gold Dome inside. It's going to have 2 floors of bleachers. The difference is the upstairs bleachers will be able to retract in so that we'll be able to use that space for some other stuff, maybe for like PE or some other organizations that could use it to practice. That picture right there is actually what's going to be called the promenade. You can see the field house in the background in the distance. It leads from our student parking lot, and there's going to be a cement walkway towards the football field house. To the left side is our baseball, softball complex. To the right side is the soccer football complex. That picture is our library in the big school where 10th, 11th, and 12th graders will be. The library is going to have that glass wall that looks out over the retention pond. We're going to have some retention ponds on campus to help with the local water drainage in the area. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say what a good job I think our planning and construction staff has done along with the contractors and WOMAC to make sure that this building is going to be the pride of Ascension Parish, I hope. That's our press box, and while it says Surge Stadium, that was just what was in the renditions. I think it's going to actually just be Hurricane Stadium, just home of the Hurricanes. And the picture before that was what it was, current.
Right. Yeah, you see
right
there.
It is, right there is the press box. But on the bottom floor, there's going to be a concession stand. I believe that left side, right side are going to have some restrooms in it as well.
Oh, I like to hear that.
But the field house is actually on each side of the field house. We're going to have bathrooms there for when we're hosting athletic events as well.
Right. It kind of looks like the one you have here, I suppose.
Similar as far as the stadium goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, except the concession stand is going to be actually inside the framework of the stadium.
That's a good idea. Good.
That's going to be our logo right now. That's what we're trying to get out to everybody. I know East Ascension is really, really good at, bleed blue, Santa Ma, Gator Pride, Dutchtown, always a Griffin. We are looking to emulate what those schools do. And so that is what we're trying to plaster everywhere right now.
Yep.
We'll come up with a mascot, actually, Jeff. I know when the mascot came out initially, the community had some interesting comments to make about it. What we're going to do is once the lines are final and our students are declared, we're going to let our students have a say in what our mascot is or whether or not we'll even have that.
Okay. Well, I know there's a lot of stuff to be determined, and I know you can't give us a lot of specifics because you just don't know yet because there's a lot of things up in the air over the next 8 to 10 months. One thing that people want to know about, because there may be fewer students there at the beginning, but you're planning on having things like clubs and athletics and things like that at the school.
Absolutely. First, I want everybody to know I understand the challenge it's going to be to be out of school and then have to leave. My daughter went through it when I moved from EA to Dutchtown, and she decided to stay at EA. So for those people that decide that, I understand. If you don't and you're going to come to Prairieville, I promise you we're going to do everything we can to love, support, and challenge your kid.
Yeah.
And we're really believers in that school is about getting good academic base, but high school is not just about the academics. It's about the culture that comes with that school. And we don't want those students that have to come to our schools to be lacking for clubs or sports. So what we're going to do for our clubs and sports is try to offer everything that our staffing will allow.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be playing varsity sports. That much I know. We'll have all the major sports. Whether or not we'll have some of the minor sports, I think will depend on the student interest and just how many teachers that we end up having so that we can staff it. But if I had to speculate right now, I would say that all the sports that are offered at our current high schools that we're going to also offer.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that definitively because I don't want to have to backtrack on it.
Yeah.
But I would think that and hope that we will be able to. As far as the clubs, as we interview teachers to come staff us, that is one of the questions we plan on asking our teachers to come.
Yeah.
Hey, what clubs can you sponsor? We're going to ask the kids in that survey we send out about the mascot. We're going to ask them what clubs they would like to see.
Yeah.
I've actually had a few from the Santa Mar area already asked me if we were going to have a fishing club. I told them if they stock our ponds in front of school that we could have that conversation then.
Absolutely. That would be a good idea. I know you wouldn't mind that either.
No, not at all.
Yeah, and so you're talking about staff and everything's up in the air. Right now you basically have your two employees, you and Courtney Mancuso, who is your associate principal, and y'all have spent the last few months getting everything organized and everything. And so now you're going to have some major decisions to make as far as staffing goes, faculty, other big job positions. So tell us what the timetable is for that.
Sure. This week we actually hired our A secretary, which is going to allow us to open up and start doing some more things. Courtney and I have been sitting down, basically budgeting everything that you need to start some programs, right?
Right.
She took the arts, I took some of the sports. And now that we have our A secretary is going to start entering those things into Alio so that we can start ordering it. So that's the first big one. We're now a school of three, which I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Prairieville Primary for allowing us to house up there. Miss Amans and her whole crew are incredible. And Miss Orso, we want to thank them for their hospitality. For moving on, we're going to then hire a registrar and our AD in December. Those two positions won't start until I think January 8th, which is the first day after Christmas break. But they'll both come on at that point in time. I'm hoping that by then, when our registrar comes in, we'll be able to list our classes that we're going to be offering. We'll be able to start charting more exactly how many students we're going to have. Our AD will be able to look at that, and then he'll be able or she'll be able to then go out and start hiring coaches, and we'll be able to offer some answers to people that right now are just speculation.
Yeah. Well,
teachers, I'm sorry, you'd also asked about the teachers.
Yeah.
The transfer portal opens up typically February and March. That's going to be similar. We're adding some questions to that. Dr. Muse is doing that inside of the HR department to where, are they DE or AP certified? Because we're going to want to offer some of those classes that are offered at the other schools as well.
Yeah.
What clubs do the teachers want? How many sections, different classes would they be willing to teach? Those kind of things. Once the transfer portal is in, then myself and the principals on the East Bank we'll sit down and we'll look at the people that were on it, and then we'll be staffed accordingly depending on how many kids come from Dutchtown, Santa Mar, East Ascension. Okay. I'm going to speculate and say numbers right now. This is nothing other than me guessing at numbers, right? 55% of our students come from Dutchtown, then 50% of that relocation of staff will come from Dutchtown. If 35% of our students come from Santa Mar, then same thing, with the number of teachers coming from Santa Mar, and then 10% maybe from EA, then 10% of our staff will come from East Ascension.
Right.
After that, then we'll still have some more positions that we'll be able to go out and fill, and we're going to look to hire some people maybe from our middle schools that are interested in helping us build our programs, and then we'll advertise and hire people from outside to complete our staff.
All right, so you got a lot of work to do, I guess I ask about how you're doing because, you have been the associate principal at Dutchtown for a very long time, running the freshman academy. Now you're the big shot. And how you like being the big shot in charge of getting all this done? How challenging is that?
It's been different. I think I'm a people person. I've made the comment to some friends of mine and coworkers. I think what I miss the most is being around the kids. Wednesday, Miss Mancuso and I actually came to lunch at Dutchtown. We were here for all 3 lunch shifts, so we got to mix and mingle with the kids and answer some of their questions. On the 30th, we'll be at Santa Ma doing the same thing. It's been different, Jeff. It's been a challenge. If you'd have told me 10 years ago that I'd be sitting in this chair talking about opening a new school, I'd have never in my wildest dreams would I have thought it. I've been blessed to work under some good principals. Coach Watts was the first person to give me a job as an administrator, Miss McCorkle at East Ascension. And then here, Miss Francois and Dr. Monso. And then I've been blessed to work with a lot of really good administrators. Ascension Parish is very good at promoting from within and training us as we go. So it's been different to say it. It's been fun. I am looking forward to getting people on campus though.
I bet you are because that's the next challenge, and it's less than a year away.
It is. Jokingly, I told my wife, who has been tremendous through this whole process, I woke up the first night after school at like 1 o'clock, and I went, holy cow, I'll only have 179 school days left. I mean, and it was just amazing. It hit me all of a sudden. But I'll say it again. Look, our district, from maintenance to cafeteria staff to nursing to special ed to Dr. Walker and Miss Francois and Beth, they've been tremendous. The support has been great. Everybody is, excited about the new school opening. I know I'm looking forward to it because some irony is that I got my first job in Ascension Parish because Dutchtown High School opened. I absolutely interviewed with SWAC and Billy Beasley the fall, spring before Dutchtown opened, and I ended up at EA. So to see it come full circle with this and me getting the opportunity to lead and build a culture that I hope this whole parish would be proud of is tremendously humbling.
Yeah, and you're doing a great job, and we do appreciate this because this is a monumental effort, and you've done great so far. Randy Loving, our principal at the next high school to be finished in Ascension Parish, Prairieville High School. And so, Randy.
Go Canes!
Randy, thank you so much for coming out here. I know you've had to do this a lot, and I can tell you.
Believe it or not, I like to talk a little bit.
You don't say.
I will say this, Jeff. I think one of the things in small groups, I've always been, I think a little outgoing. In front of big groups, to have to talk in front of big groups, that has been something that I've had to teach myself to do. I can remember when we opened the academy here, the groundbreaking. Miss Francois laughed at me because when I was standing behind the podium, she said my leg was shaking like a seismograph machine. So that part of it has been, I've had to teach myself how to do it. But it's great, man. I want to thank you, Rev, Coach Swack, for doing these games. It's great. Wow, what a football game. And again, go Canes.
All right, so Randy Loving, thank you so much as we wrap up our halftime show, and we're going to take a break. You are watching the Rev Game of the Week.
Looking for an extraordinary education opportunity? Introducing Ascension Public School's Early College Option Program, where you can earn a high school diploma and an associate's degree from River Parishes Community College at the same time. Experience the best of both worlds as high school seamlessly blends with college coursework in a rigorous yet supportive program. Yet stay connected to your home high school through clubs, organizations, and sports. And here's the best part. Students pay no tuition or textbook cost. Ascension Public School's Early College Option Program, where your future begins today.
B.T. Chapman and A.J. Pickett with Advantage Therapy are honored and excited to team up with Dutchtown High School's athletics. At Advantage Therapy, we are dedicated to helping our patients regain the highest possible functional status through one-on-one patient care. Advantage Therapy has spent nearly 2 decades providing both outpatient orthopedic physical therapy and occupational therapy to the people of Ascension and surrounding parishes. From all of us at Advantage Therapy, go Griffins!
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, forget about X's and O's. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Dr. Brian Hollis is Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Dr. Hollis has an excellent reputation for bringing state-of-the-art technology and the highest standard of patient care to Ascension. He attended LSU Dental School, and he completed a residency to become a board-certified specialist in orthodontics. An avid supporter in our community, Dr. Hollis is married to Celeste Pyron Hollis, and they have 4 children. Dr. Hollis, Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Grow up smiling with Hollis Orthodontics. Get to know SEC Heating and Cooling this year. Locally owned and operated by Stephen Conyer since 2013, SEC Heating and Cooling works with residential and commercial customers in Ascension, East Baton Rouge, Livingston, and surrounding parishes. SEC specializes in preventive maintenance, repair, and complete changeout and installation of energy-efficient central air systems. From professional sales and expert installation of central AC systems to repairs and ductless AC systems, we can handle all your needs. For total peace of mind, call SEC today.
No one teaches you what to do immediately after an accident. Once everyone is safe, your first call should be to an attorney, not the insurance company.
Don't let the insurance company take advantage of you at your time of need. Call the Title Law Firm. We'll walk you through what you need to do in real time.
But you can take advantage of the Title Law Firm's 30 years of experience.
Before you call your insurance, make a free, no-obligation call to the Title Law Firm.
Call 756-0007 when you're injured. You gotta call. You gotta call Title.
We're just about ready for the start of the second half. Our score, Dutchtown 7, Santa Maria 0. As you see the Griffins coming out of moments ago as they try to get the upset tonight against the Gators. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to talk about the students here at Dutchtown who are helping us out this evening and all season, the sports and entertainment marketing students that help us out so much. William Mahlerberg, Kayla Cazalio, Aiden Westerhouse, and Luis Voorhees. This is the sports and entertainment marketing students that are working with us tonight. That's a class that's offered here at Dutchtown High School. It's under the supervision of Dutchtown football coach Joseph Venus, and he does a good job with these kids, and we're grateful to have them, and I know they're grateful for the opportunity to come in on a real broadcast and see what it's like, and they have a lot of fun out there, and they're doing a good job. And so I'd like to thank Rev as well for all the help that they've provided for these students as well.
You know, Jeff, it's amazing in Ascension Parish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, almost on a yearly time schedule, things change academically. And it's such a tremendous place to send your kids to school if they want to work on that degree towards BASF or not or ABC school
Yes.
or college, career bound. It's unreal. And so a lot of good things happen in this parish for a lot of good reasons. That's why they built the second high school in a matter of 20 years in this parish.
Right, just growing, and there's a reason why, because people want to live in this district because the public schools in this parish are outstanding. And now the second half has begun as we get the kickoff to Caden Mackey, and riding him down to the 28-yard line. I believe that was number 11, Kedrick Williams. Let's see. Jumps on, and there he goes. But he held on.
Very good job there.
Mm-hmm. So great job on special teams, keeping the dangerous returner Mackey contained. He had a kick return for a touchdown in the Jamboree game against East Ascension. And so now...
So this is how Dutchtown operated right here.
We have the quarterback is Caden Mackey, number 1, and he got the return. He's actually a safety on the team, and he takes the linebacker or cornerback Ricks with him for a good gain on first down.
So you have basically you see 66 coming up the field looking for somebody to block, Taylor Graham. And so you have a fake and go, you have trips one way and then tight end the other, and you have to kind of figure out what side you're going to be the strong side right here. You can see your tight end in the backfield right now where you got him at as a wing back kind of.
And Caden Mackey is still in at quarterback, and he's going to keep it for a first down. This is a wrinkle that we did not know about, Coach. We've seen Carter Hanberry in the short yardage package, but now Caden Mackey coming in, and now he's going to step out, and Oakland is going to take his spot.
Well, that may be, kind of how you use, like, number 7 for the Saints, just in different positions.
Absolutely. Taysom Hill, the Swiss Army knife. First down at the 46, Hanberry in motion. And we have a false start, and it's going to be 1st and 15. So the Griffins make a mistake and push themselves back 5 yards. We're just underway in the second half. Dutchtown leads Sandoval by a score of 7-0 on a Carter Hanberry touchdown run in the second quarter. So Oakland remains at quarterback with Dukes, DeSherry in motion. And it's the keeper, and not much, as that's Cameron Hill who has the first contact. Oakland's done well this season, 282 yards rushing, Coach, but not right there.
Yeah, Caleb Ricks right there with a nice tackle.
Yes.
Basically on the same plays that they came in here with number 1. Running the ball, Dutchtown.
That was Mackey.
And a lot of fake and go with the quarterback in the B gap away from the fake.
So after the 5-yard penalty, you have a 2-yard loss. So now Dutchtown's in a hole, 2nd and 17. Duke's in motion, and we have another whistle, and a timeout is going to be called by Dutchtown. So they have spent their first timeout. We'll see if that is costly here in the future. But right now we're going to go ahead and take a look at what's going on this week in District 5-5A as Week 8 continues elsewhere. Of course, you have Sandoval at Dutchtown right here. East Ascension, they're playing on the road tonight at Denham Springs. And then you had Walker against Live Oak, and that's a game that both teams here are paying attention to, because if Walker can win that game, they could be undefeated in district and maybe potentially face an unbeaten Sandoval team in district.
Right now you're going in the last few weeks of the season, just about the way it's set up right here with the matchups, just about anything could happen. The one team you're looking at, possibly Live Oak and East Ascension being maybe the weak link in the district, but I think either one of them could handle anybody on any given night.
And we'll look at the next week's schedule at our next break. We already talked about the big game between Walker and Santamon next week. And a pass downfield to Sherry's got it to the 30. First down, Griffins. And he was able to get over the linebacker, Thomas Leonard. That was a nice pass.
Nicely set up right there. Cornerback goes out, and linebacker's got to run
31-yard line.
With the tight end right there, because the free safety's on the other side of the field, playing a deep position on the two receiver side that are outside receivers.
So now the ball to the 31. Big completion to DeSherry from Oakwin. And Dutchtown is in business again. Hand off to Dukes, patient, and gets about 5. Had to wait for the hole, and he got a little bit.
Well, you watch Dukes right here getting the ball and just waiting to see where there's going to be a hole, and there it is. Slides in there and picks up about 5 on the play.
Taken down by Salzarulo. 2nd and 5. 8:28 left to go in the third quarter.
So now Santamon's lined up. The free safety came back to the other side of the field. And basically you have a one-on-one situation.
2nd and 5. And the quarterback keeper, and he's got nowhere to go. Boy, they swarm all over the ball. Everybody is there on every play. Damon Smith makes the tackle right there, Coach.
You're getting a clinic. Some very good tackling. Very good tackling on every play. Not a lot of missed tackles. And you're seeing both of these defenses doing an outstanding job. And now you have a 3rd and 4 or 5 situation.
And the jumbo package with Hanbury again. You got Lewis and Spears in the backfield too, and he keeps it right up the middle. First down, breaks a tackle to the 5, 1st and goal. And just hard running by Carter Hanbury.
Boy, you had a situation there where they acted like they were on the goal line. Very good job of getting movement with that right guard and right tackle of Dutchtown, which was Dawson and Graham.
And Thomas Leonard did a good job keeping him out of the end zone, getting him down to the 5. First
and they'll
and
just
goal.
stay in this situation.
Yes, there's Hanbury to get the direct snap, and he is close, and he backs into the end zone for the touchdown. And Dutchtown extends their lead to 13-0. That setup right there has been very successful for the Griffins with Hanbury.
Santamon's trying to extend a pile right there, and they're able to get a push back there to the linebackers, allowing that running back to slip through a hole right there to score.
So Michael Mathern will attempt the extra point. So with 6:53 left to go, and the kick is good. It's 14-0. Dutchtown leads Santamon. We'll take a break. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
Chris's Specialty Foods has been making Cajun meat products for almost 30 years. We do all the prep work so people can have home-cooked meals without spending all day in the kitchen. Everything is done ourselves. With 3 locations in Louisiana and a 4th in Texas, we needed all of them connected to the same system for point of sale and telephone. Rev Business set us up, and it's been a game changer. They have everything as national companies, but with real local service. Rev Business is authentic Louisiana, just like Chris's.
It's 14-0, and Dutchtown extends their lead on the 2nd touchdown of the night for Carter Hanbury. That's his 4th touchdown in the last 2 weeks, Coach.
Yep, and I'm going to tell you, it's not on sweeps. It's on just power football, And they made a living off of this last year with some quality defensive players coming over the offensive side, and again right here tonight.
You're right. I'll talk about that in a second. As the kickoff is taken at the 10, waiting for blockers, dodges a couple, gets to the 23, 24, does a good job of getting ahead and making something happen right there. That is number 25 on the return, done. And we have a halftime score at Denham Springs. East Ascension leading Denham by a score of 17-3. So East Ascension basically must wins for the rest of the season to make the playoffs, and they're in good shape so far tonight.
A lot of people in Gonzales might say, wow, where has that been?
First down. And there's some really hard running on first down as Tyree Williams. I'm really impressed with this guy the last couple of weeks, Coach. He's hard to bring down.
He's hard to bring down, but your running backs for the Gators run hard. And, you know, maybe Kraft might not break a real long one. Tyree's got the ability to break a long one. So it's interesting to see, you pick up 8 on that play.
And there's a pass. And Million, I think that's going to be near the first down. That's going to, we'll wait for a decision from the officials. And it is a first down, so the drive continues for Santa Maria. So they are getting to a position halfway through this third quarter that they have to get a sustained drive and maybe get some points on the board. As right now it's Dutchtown with the 14-0 lead. And a handoff up the middle to Williams. And he's kind of carried the load, Coach, and he's kind of had to because Kraft was injured last week, didn't play at all in the Denham Springs game. Miles Dennis did a good job in the backfield last week, but he got hurt at the end of the game. So they have to rely on him a lot tonight.
Yeah, and just right off the bat, when you get injuries to your running backs right there, Sanders is another one that has had injuries right off the start of the season right there and hadn't been able to play. And he told me the other day at a middle school game he's hoping to get in around playoff time if that's possible.
Shotgun, and the pass incomplete. Had a hand on the back of the intended receiver, Raffray, on the coverage, Chaz Smith. Like I said, had his hand on the back, but no flag, no interference, and it's third down and 8. So good job on defense by the Griffins. And now a big third down and long situation. And you see the one back in the backfield, 3 left, 1 right, and a whistle. And they're going to get 5 yards against the Griffins for offside. So, again, that's a self-inflicted wound there by the Griffins, as it's going to be third down and 3.
Well, when you have that situation, a lot of times it's on first down. Sometimes it's on third and less than 5. Somehow you're going to have to be able to take advantage of this 3rd and 4 situation.
So you get 2 receivers left and 1 right, or two and 2 actually, and now they're going toward Million. I think I was thrown in between Million and Raffray, and it's going to fall incomplete. It's 4th down, and they're going to choose to punt. It's still early, with 5:06 left to go. And Dutchtown, Chris Harrell, his defensive squad, with the shutout tonight, they are averaging under 10 points a game. They're averaging 8.8 a game. And pressure, and he gets it away and does a good job. And it's going to take a Santa Maria bounce close to the 20. So good job. And now for Santa Maria, their defense is going to come out on the field, led by defensive coordinator Dwayne Thomasy, and they're a solid defensive unit too. They've only given up 12.1 per game. And so you kind of went into this game expecting low scoring, and that's what we've had so far. Why don't we take a look while we have an opportunity at the games that are going to happen next week in District 5, 5A. And our game of the week is we have a couple. Denham Springs is going to be at Dutchtown. We're going to be at East Ascension for homecoming against Live Oak. And then the big one that could determine a district title, Walker at Sanoma. So some big games next week, Coach.
Yep, and like I said earlier, anything could happen. You know, it's amazing how we talked about, you know, East Ascension being co-district champions last year, and now they're at the bottom of the pile.
Well, you could get yourself in a situation if Dutchtown can hold on and win this game where you have another potential three-way tie going into Week 10.
And the crazy thing about last year is that everybody was playing games at Live Oak until, I think, Week 10 for Denham Springs.
So now we're going to get 5 yards assessed. Didn't quite see what that was about.
Ball is at the 27-yard line, where Dutchtown will have a first and 10.
But if Dutchtown would win tonight and then Sanoma wins against Walker next week, all three of those teams could potentially be tied going into Week 10. So there's a lot on the line for both teams tonight. This is LaKeedron Harvey, and rides him down and holds on. That's Thomas Leonard. Good job. Prevents a longer gain.
You know, a long 2 or 3 yards right here, getting on out to the outside.
Kept them to a 3-yard gain. Could have been a lot more if he didn't hold on.
You look at Harvey, and you look at your quarterback with the yardage that he has and the yardage that Duke has, Duke's. It's amazing how all of them are right around the 300 to 400 yard marker.
They were tied for the Dutchtown lead in rushing yardage, as now you're going to get Gary Dukes, and he breaks the tackle on a flag coming down on the field. This may be coming back. We'll wait and see, but while we wait and see, going into this week, Gary Dukes had 78 carries for 335 and 4 touchdowns. LaKeedron Harvey had 49 carries for the same amount, 335 and 5 touchdowns. So 2 solid backs for the Griffins. And we're going to wait for the penalty to be decided. Personal foul against Dutchtown. That's a big one. Another self-inflicted wound right there.
First down with a blind side block.
So the block, not sure, may have been in another spot. I don't know if I saw anything right there, but there was a block. And they may assess it from the spot. Or are they going to assess that from the original line, Coach? Because it looks like they're at the 42, ready to assess it from there. So I guess so.
You have
or maybe it's
about 5 officials out there conversing.
Now they're moving to the 35, and they're going to go from there.
It's going to take almost half the quarter right here.
This has been the longest break that we've had. This has been a really fast game. So now it's 15 yards assessed from the 35, so that was the spot of the foul. So that's going to bring up second down and 17.
So what you going to do here, Jeff? This is one of the marks we haven't had but a couple of times for either team.
You don't want to give Sanoma a short field. You can't afford a turnover right here. You may go conservative, I would think. Let Dukes get a few back.
Or maybe how about Dukes down the sideline?
Or the quarterback keeper. That was going to be the next thing I was going to suggest. But Trabo takes him down after a 3-yard gain.
You see on the replay, watch the backside right guard and right tackle on the pull kick out. Big 66 right there, leading up, Taylor Graham.
So he was helped out by Cameron Hill. So Hill and Trabo with the tackle, and it's 3rd and 15. 3:13 left to go in the third quarter. Dutchtown with a touchdown in the second and a touchdown in the third. They lead 14-0. Shotgun, looking left all the way. Quick pass to Tyler Adams, and that's not going to be much. Maybe a yard or two.
Santa Maria did a great job right there, covering down low into the sideline, short side of the field, and then over the top. You know, that was a look. If it's closed up at the top, then you come back down short, and basically no one was open right there. Good defense right there by the Gators on stopping a high and low throw, leading to 4th down.
And there was no need to be risky right there. And that's kind of indicative of their plays, I suppose. Casey McCoy is going to punt. He's averaging 36.8. He's had some good ones tonight. And this one is a line drive out of bounds. This is not his best effort. And Santa Maria is going to get good field position. That's a big break for the Gators. They're going to start in Dutchtown territory. Looks like maybe the 42-yard line. That's big, Coach.
Now at the 41 or 2-yard line.
So 2:08 left to go. 14 minutes remaining in this game. Santa Maria needs 2 touchdowns to tie it. And it's going to be 1st and 10. And our Rev games of the week coming up. We talked about it a moment ago. Live Oak at East Ascension for homecoming. And then Denham Springs at Dutchtown. And then in 2 weeks, Dutchtown at East Ascension. We'll put that graphic up after this play one more time. And a fake. And deep downfield and good coverage, but it's still caught. And he's going to break it, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown like that.
Well, all the way across the field with a deep throw by Babin.
And that's a quick strike, Coach.
And but the adjustment to the route.
Underthrown. And
that's gyro.
Yeah, and 17, Jeremy Jackson just didn't recover quick enough.
You know, it's just, I mean, that first of all, the throw, that is a long throw across the field right there.
Yeah.
And gyro did an outstanding job adjusting that, picking up the catch, and scoring right there. So
and
maybe a little momentum right here for the Gators, headed into the end of this third quarter and the start of the fourth quarter.
And it's up, and it is good, and it's 14-7, 1:58 left to go in the third. Dutchtown leads. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of Dutchtown High School would like to thank Advantage Physical Therapy, SCC Heating and Cooling, Tata Law Firm, Raising Cane's in Prairieville, Ross Downing Buick GMC, Hollis Orthodontics, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Peak Performance Physical Therapy, for their support of our Griffins Sports Medicine Program.
And Santa Maria strikes after the short punt that went out of bounds. One play, 42 yards, and the big connection from Cooper Babin all the way to Easton Jaro, and Jaro got the extra point.
Gyro, you know, we've talked about him from time to time. Not the biggest guy in the world, but he's got more projects and jobs on this team. And basically comes out a winner. Oh, boy, and I keep talking about this throw from the right hash all the way down, basically inside the 10-yard line. That's a 55-yard chunk.
Yep. Now Mackey gets through the first wave, and it is arm tackled down by number 42, Easton Humphrey. And so we see the return right here, and a good job by Humphrey. It's going to be first down at the 28. And let's get ready to go back and look at the Game of the Week schedule. As you see, the game in 2 weeks, Dutchtown at East Ascension, a big game in Week 10. And those games will be aired on Rev Sports 1 on YouTube, Rev Sports 2 on YouTube. And you see the replay times right there. And we are just about ready for action, Coach.
Big thing is what has happened to East Ascension in a positive way tonight so far in their game.
Well, they've played a killer schedule. That's what it's been. As you see, about 8 or 9 on first down. as it's going to bring up 2nd down and 1. But to finish your thought, Coach, as you see the replay, East Ascension has played the 2 unbeatens in this district, Walker and Sanamaw, and they can recover.
What they're running right here is almost like the buck sweep right here. You have the tight end and the wing back doubling up. Now here we bring another guy down right here, doubling up, and then people pulling and kicking out.
1st and 10. They give him a first down on that right there, and the quarterback's going to keep it outside, and he's trying to turn the corner, but Trabo's going to have none of that, and they're going to call a flag as he rode him out of bounds. He had contact with him before he went out, but they're going to throw the flag. So this is a close one.
Watch Oakland right here. He runs like 40 yards to pick up 4 or 5, and then you got that little push right there.
Push right there.
That was on 13.
Yeah, that was Trabo. I mean, he had him out. He had him before he was out of bounds, but I guess they called that last little push out of bounds, I suppose.
Well, that play I thought was going to go for a ton of yardage.
Right. That's a tough one for the Gators right there. Trabo made a really good play right there to make up on the pursuit.
Dutchtown has made a living off of a few big plays right here.
Yep, there's been some penalties that have helped them out too. And this is Mayo, and he's got some speed, but he's not going to get past Leonard. And it's going to be a gain of about 5. 2nd and 5.
Not a lot of things in between the tackles, but a lot of things outside of the tackles. Different people running the ball.
And so now after the 5-yard gain, we are approaching 1 minute left to go in the 3rd quarter. It's a 1-score game, and that's about what we expected, Coach. Neither one of these teams was going to pull away from the other. We expected a good game, and that's what we got so far. And Duke's close to a first down, maybe enough, and it is.
And there they go in between the tackles right there.
This game about everything we expected. Defensive struggle. Dutchtown had a 14-0 lead, but Sanamaw, they're so good, and you knew that they weren't going to be held scoreless, and they're coming back now 14-7.
Well, you got tight end trips again. Well, you got tight end trips. Should be running outside to the right, huh?
Maybe so. But nope, it's a quarterback keeper. They used him as a decoy. And look at this. Look at him continuing downfield inside the 15, maybe inside the 10. And that's a quarterback right there. Ethan Oakland, not a running back, pushing the pile ahead.
Mike Janis, a nice call right here, has got the fear of the outside run, and then the fake there and him keeping it is something that Pyron, their quarterback of last year, made good for him all season long.
So we're going to take a break, 14-7, Dutchtown going into the 4th. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of Dutchtown High School would like to thank Advantage Physical Therapy, SEC Heating and Cooling, Tata Law Firm, Raising Cane's in Prairieville, Ross Downing Buick GMC, Hollis Orthodontics, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Peak Performance Physical Therapy, for their support of our Griffins Sports Medicine Program.
4th quarter about to begin, 14-7, Dutchtown leads and trying to strike again. And while we wait for that to happen, let's go ahead and look at some of the top teams in 5A going into Week 8. As you see, Edna Carr, number 1. Destrehan moves up to 2. Zachary 3. Ruston 4. Karen Crow, East St. John, John Curtis, Catholic, Baton Rouge, Holy Cross, and Southside rounds up.
Southside, just basically in the 5A ranks a couple of years and really doing an outstanding job. Carr, I imagine Carr is saying, I don't know if there's a team in the state that could beat us, including some of the colleges or whatever. They're outstanding, and you look at the job that Curtis has done with 2 losses.
Yep. Quarterback under pressure. And again, the pursuit and just following the ball. Damon Smith broke that play, busted that up before anything could develop. So good job right there. Let's look at the replay.
Good job corralling him inside or from the outside in.
You had about 3 receivers in about the same 5-yard vicinity, and just nothing developing right there. And again, it's that Santa Maria pursuit.
Is that 2nd and goal now?
Yes, it is 2nd and goal. They marked it inside the 10 on first. And again, pursuit.
Well, good job right there defensively by the line, pushing that offensive line surge backwards right there to where that running back can't be a very good athlete going in the opposite direction. And what do you think this is right here, Jeff?
Jumbo. It's the jumbo with Carter Hanberry. He's going to try for his 3rd touchdown tonight, perhaps.
So you think they got a pass off of this?
I don't know. I haven't seen Carter Hanberry throw the ball, but he's a special athlete.
Well, there's nobody in the end zone right now.
And the snap, and going to cut outside. And can he get to the corner? And there's a flag. He does get in, and there's a flag, and it's coming back. And I think DeSherry's going to be called for the hold. And there's a injured Santa Maria Gator on the field just now getting up. That's Salzarulo. I think that DeSherry's going to get called for that. If we might be able to see it on the replay. But he turned the corner there, Coach. That was definitely a surprise.
And, to me, one of the keys right there, if you looked at the receiver, the wide receiver, I mean, he was almost at the down box. He was so wide. A lot of times that's an indicator that I'm either running a slant or I'm just running off or blocking him, which he did a good job on that play. And yeah.
And most importantly, they may be out of field goal range if they can't convert right here on 3rd down. Dutchtown's kicking game is not as efficient as Santa Maria, that's for certain.
Well, here we go again. We've got to be throwing here pretty soon, huh?
Hanberry is going to try the same area, then cut back inside, and he might be able to get them back into a makeable field goal on 4th down. There's about the 12-yard line. And they're going to bring in Michael Mathern to try it and try to make this a 2-score game with 10:20 left to go in the 4th. This is going to be a 30-yard attempt.
Well, we hadn't said much about the crowd. The crowd has been outstanding tonight.
Especially on the Santa Maria side, standing room only over there.
And I think you have the same thing on this side, especially in front of us.
Yes, a lot of people here. From the center of the field, Michael Mathern trying to make it a 10-point game. Up, line drive. Good. And it's a 17-7 game. And we'll take a break. You are watching the Rev Game of the Week.
Chris's Specialty Foods has been making Cajun meat products for almost 30 years. We do all the prep work so people can have home-cooked meals without spending all day in the kitchen. Everything is done ourselves. With 3 locations in Louisiana and a 4th in Texas, we needed all of them connected to the same system for point of sale and telephone. Rev Business set us up, and it's been a game changer. They have everything as national companies, but with real local service. Rev Business is authentic Louisiana, just like Chris's.
(17-7), and Dutchtown's had trouble kicking field goals this season, but that was right down the middle for Michael Mathern, and it's a 2-score game, Coach.
And one of the things that we talked about is how important special teams were, especially in a close game, especially in a defensive struggle. And that right now they're 1 for 1 in field goals, and Santa Maria is 0 for 1.
That's a very surprising statistic. And kick is short and taken at the 11-yard line. In a big hole, and it closes quickly, though, at the 28-yard line. And Million is down there, and we have a whistle and a personal foul is going to be called here, as there was some extracurricular about 5 yards off the ball. involved the Santa Maria player and the Dutchtown kicker.
Look at Coach Guy, not real happy with that activity that wasn't even a part of the play at all.
Right. It was the kicker, Cardona, that was involved.
Well,
so we have a personal foul, and it's going to be offsetting. So both teams are happy to get out of that without a big problem, I guess. And most of the time they're going to call offsetting and be done with it. So now we're inside of 10 minutes left to go, and they're on the field and getting ready, so we're going to keep it right here and see if Santa Maria can get this back to a one-score game. And the pass complete. And not much. Back to the line of scrimmage. Caught by the tight end. That's Dar. Connor Dar, actually a wide receiver. And you see him taken down there by Hanberry and Jeremy Jackson.
Play right there. You know, you're looking at a play that you're probably going to run once or twice, if any at all, during the game, and they were right on top of it.
Now it's 2nd and 10 after no gain on the pass to Dar. And Babin pressure. Lewis is going after him. There's a flag. Deep pass downfield. Caught. It may go back, though. May be holding. And we're going to look down at the 22-yard line to the white hat and see what he's going to call. It's a good pass and catch, but it's a hold. And that's a tough break for Santa Maria.
Well, you eliminate a big play right there, about a 45-yarder.
Pressure coming, though, from Josh Lewis, number 98. And he is fast. He's the fastest defensive lineman.
I mean, it just seems like one or two defensive line people are getting in that backfield very quick.
He's the smallest of the D linemen, but he's also the tallest and the fastest. Probably the most athletic. Plays basketball as well. Shotgun. Pressure. And the screen is set up perfectly, and there's lots of room. 35, 40, steps out. Kyron Kraft. And that's a first down for the Gators, and that's what they need to keep that ball.
I'm going to tell you, that was about as well executed as you can ask in the screen. It looks like the Saints under Sean Payton.
Yep.
Good job with the lineman down there. Good job with Kraft sinking. Good job with Cooper sinking right there, getting those defensive linemen. Worked out well.
1st and 10, 42-yard line. And there's a handoff, waiting patiently, but not much. That is Tyree Williams. Gets a yard. We have a whistle. And it looks like maybe an offensive lineman down for the Gators. And so we're going to stay here while they tend to him. We're going to keep it here, and we are going to move on to Coach Swack as he's going to tell us about what happened in the middle schools in Ascension Parish this week.
Well, you saw, all the games played on Thursday. You have a couple of games left, 2 games left. Basically, you have to remember the first game of the year was moved to the last game of the year because of the temperature conditions. Galvez over Santa Maria 26-6. Prairieville over Dutchtown 16-7. Central over Bluff 32-14. And Lowry 14. Gonzalez 6. And you see Lake with a bye, and Lake is your only undefeated team in the league right there with 2 games remaining for all of the teams.
Number 78.
So that's the starting right guard, Coach, who's injured. Elijah Thornton, 5'10", 226-pound junior. And he's walking off the field maybe with a little help, but he doesn't look too badly injured, and that's a positive. And so he'll be replaced. Looks like number 64 is checking in, Jacob Weber. 2nd and 9 with 8:38 left to go. You're at the point now where you got to think Santa Monica needs points on this drive. Down by 2 possessions. Babin downfield, and closest defender there, Jeremy Jackson, incomplete as they're trying to go downfield, but double coverage.
Well, that was one of the few times, where Babin was able to drop back, pause for a second, check out situation, and get a throw in right there without having to scramble to throw on the run.
Trying to get it to Jaro. They just made a big connection for the touchdown at the end of the 3rd quarter. They're going to need to connect again, or maybe Million. Rolling out right, gets down to Million, and it's going to be 4th and 2. Oh, no, it's incomplete. He dropped it. He dropped it. Okay. Hard to see on the far side. Pressure again from Josh Lewis, and yes, he dropped it. Pressure from Hanbury on the receiver. And Jaro's going to have to come in and punt. And no rush. And that's dangerous right there, as coming up to get it was Tyler Adams, and that was nearly a game-changing decision, but he was able to hold on to it.
At the 28-yard line,
kind of played it like a grounder, bobbled it, but was able to get back right on top of it.
With 8:11 left, you got to be thinking about different ways that you could score. If we get in a punt situation, call for a block punt, return a punt for a touchdown. It's a lot of different things you could do defensively and in the kicking game and on offense, where you could get a couple of scores here in the last 8:11.
And this is Mackey in that quarterback slot. The safety on defense comes in on offense and gets 4 or 5, moving the pile forward. And now this is just, I guess, ball control, try to run the ball, run some clock right here if you're the Dutchtown offense, and not make any mistakes and not make any turnovers.
Well, you have your 40 and 25-second clock.
So they're going to get it down to about 7:20 if they use their entire clock right here.
And you can see your quarterback there is basically just standing there waiting on that clock to run down.
And Harvey's not going to get back to the line. As good pursuit again by Dwayne Thomas's strong defense. 3rd down and 6. And
looks like
Lakeedra and Harvey is still in the backfield.
It looks like they're coming with man-to-man, maybe bringing a little heat.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to bring everybody here. 9 seconds, 8, 7. 6:42 left to go. 2-1, they get the play off. That's a quarterback keeper. 1st down, Dutchtown. To the 39. Did a good job reading that play, Coach.
And I'm going to tell you, they've made a living the last 2 years with this play.
Yep. Looked like Harvey was going to get it. A couple of guys chased him, left him a spot to sneak out and get a 1st down. They're going to get it to near the 40-yard line, so we're going to call it the 40. And they can run a couple minutes off the clock right here. I believe Santa Monica's got all 3 timeouts. And he's going to keep it right there, and no way. 95, Jai Joseph wrestles him down. He wasn't fooled by that. Saw Lakeith Harvey run right past him. He wasn't even thinking about that. So that's a 5-yard loss, Coach.
Well, I think they've made a living running that either a 3-man pull or a 2-man pull, just depending on what you have. To that side, running into their sideline. That's where they've gotten a large portion of the pull. There it is again.
Nothing doing. And that's Smith with the tackle.
No gain.
And so 5-12 in running. We have a whistle. And the officials have called a timeout as we have a injured Gator. That's Trabo. And so they're going to take a look at Trabo and check on him. And, Coach, you might not want to look here because our director, Nolan, suggested that we put this Dutchtown Santa Maria history statistic up. As you see, Benny Saya and David Swacker had a lot of matchups. 3 of them, as a matter of fact.
There you go, Nolan.
And but Coach O has 5 wins as he's taken over for you and trying to get a 6th tonight. He still has an opportunity right here if they can make a stop. And Guy Mastretta, 3-2. Benny Saya, 10-3.
Jesus.
Sorry,
That's
Coach.
tough right there.
Well, speaking of tough, this is a tough conversion situation for Dutchtown, 3rd and 15. And they're going to throw it. They're going deep, and he's open, and it's caught for a first down, and that's Mayo inside the 30. Wow.
Well, right between, watch the throw right here, right between 2 defenders.
And that's a tough one right there because now you can get it to about 2.5 minutes on the clock. This is getting more and more dangerous for Santa Maria to try to make a comeback. Dutchtown trying to knock Santa Maria out of the undefeated column. And there's a handoff up the middle, and this is Dukes, and he's to the 5, and he is in, and that's a touchdown for the Griffins.
Boy, right there between the tackles.
And it's 23-7. And an extra point would make it a 3-score game.
Right there on the right side, a little cutback by Dukes right there. Basically only untouched right there, touched at the 5-yard line. Nice run by Dukes. Get congratulated, you see right there on the sideline.
Michael Mathern to kick the extra point. This would make it a 3-score game. And it is. It's 24-7 with 4:08 left to go. We'll take a break. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
Chris's Specialty Foods has been making Cajun meat products for almost 30 years. We do all the prep work so people can have home-cooked meals without spending all day in the kitchen. Everything is done ourselves. With 3 locations in Louisiana and a 4th in Texas, we needed all of them connected to the same system for point of sale and telephone. Rev Business set us up, and it's been a game changer. They have everything as national companies, but with real local service. Rev Business is authentic Louisiana, just like Chris's.
And it's 24-7 now after the long touchdown run by Gary Dukes III, as it makes it 24-7. And now Santa Maria's in a big hole, Coach.
Well, they're in a big hole, but
Johnson.
You're going to have to make some big plays here. Little pop-up kick.
Yep, and it's going to take a bounce, and it's near the Dutchtown players, and they may have recovered. They did recover. And that might be too much to overcome right there. As we see the fight for the ball, And I think that was Carter Hanberry who recovered it. No surprise there, Coach. So.
But you could see him when he was lined up. It looked like he was kind of pointing in a direction. And not sure, maybe they just trying to take away the possibility of a return. Popped it up in the area, and then once that ball hits the ground, no telling what might happen.
So Dutchtown with a 17-point lead, trying to get to 6-1 and 2-1. Sanoma, their unbeaten season is in jeopardy right now with 4:05 left to go. Next week, we mentioned the games of the week, and as we mentioned, Coach Swack and I are going to be at East Ascension for homecoming against Live Oak, and after this play, we'll talk about the other game as well. So after a short gain, it's going to be second down, and the other game here at Dutchtown, that's going to be Jimmy Frederick and Patrick Email covering that game. Dutchtown, we're going to look at their schedule in a moment, but they are in a position right now where their last two games are against the two teams at the bottom right now, Denham Springs and East Ascension. So they could, they're in a position to do something special if they can win here tonight. Let's look at Dutchtown's schedule while we got a chance here.
And look who they lost to.
That's that Walker game, and they were winning that game. Missed it on a missed extra point.
Nothing or 6 or 7, and then all of a sudden, they come back. I mean, Walker comes back and wins it 21-20.
Yeah, and they miss a field goal, miss an extra point.
Carver on a forfeit.
Yep.
Covington, that whole North Shore is not real great. Evidently, the Ponchatoula game must have been a pretty good game.
Yeah, it was. That's one that I had covered. But then look what's left. Denham Springs and East Ascension. And those are two teams with losing records going into their games this week. So they have a chance to do something,
interested
Coach.
To see just exactly where, because we saw where East Ascension was earlier ahead by a couple of scores. Maybe we can get Lyle to find out the score of the East Ascension game.
Second down and 4. Oakland keeps, won't get a first down. Wrestled from behind. I think that's Trabo who's back in the game. That's a good sign. And it's going to be no gain. And we got another timeout. And so now Santa schedule, which is very challenging. As you see, you got one big game next week against Walker, and if they lose here tonight against Dutchtown, a victory against Walker would still have them in first place, Coach.
Yeah, and just like Coach Oliver had said, we're going to start with fairly weak with Carver and BTW, and then get a little stronger with Kennedy and a lot stronger basically with Opelousas from what I've been seeing them doing. Jefferson Rise has 3 or 4 wins on the year. And then you beat your rival 23-8 in Denham Springs, and doesn't look like it's going to come out of victory right now tonight, but
yeah, they're down to one timeout, I believe, and it's 3rd and 4. And Gary Dukes gets a first down. No, that's right, LaKeedron Harvey, and he is going to get to the pylon and short. They're going to say he stepped out inside the 1. Let's look at the replay and see what we can judge.
Pulling right there, wide open right there.
And he was out of bounds definitely before the pylon. 1st and goal from the 1. Look at Guy Mastretta right there. This is one of the biggest wins that he's had in district play at Dutchtown in his career at Dutchtown High School. Of course, he's won some big games at Livonia, Redemptorist, and all that.
And I'm just kind of wondering, last week against, I think it was Live Oak where they came on strong at the end to win that game 30-16. it looks like the same thing's happening tonight. You know, fairly strong in the last half of that fourth quarter.
And that's something they're stressing because that's what they didn't do against Walker, allowed them to come back, lost on that punt return late, had the big lead, and I think that's been a theme that we've seen here from Dutchtown. Close it. And that's what they're doing here right now, trying to make it a 30-7 game with 3:10 left to go. And we were talking about some updates. We got an update over in Denham Springs, and that was 17-10 East Ascension with the lead. And so they're still hanging on. Had a big upset tonight, Lyle's telling us. Lutcher, who is one of the top teams in 4A, lost to Assumption. That's a district loss.
Assumption?
Assumption beat Lutcher.
I think everybody
turned around when I said that. Like, what?
I think everybody saw the Jamboree. Assumption had no chance against Santa Ma.
Yep. Well, something has happened, I guess. Harvey didn't quite get there.
Harvey.
And does Santa Ma have any timeouts left?
Yes, a little bit.
They're not calling it.
It's second and goal for the Griffins.
I guess you don't want to do the jumbo with Hanbury. You don't really need it at this point. I think they're feeling comfortable with where they are in this game with the 3-score lead. They've run that jumbo every time they've gotten this deep. I think they're going to run it down as far as they can. There's 12 left on the play clock, 2:32 left to go in the game. It's still Harvey. Dives over, and that's a touchdown. And Dutchtown gets an exclamation point touchdown, 30-7. And, Coach, it looks like if you look at this and you wake up in the morning and you didn't watch the game, you might say Dutchtown blew them out. But this was 14-7 going into the fourth quarter. And Dutchtown's played maybe their best offensive quarter of football this season.
For 3 quarters, it was a very tight football game.
Absolutely. It was anybody's game. And the extra point is good, and we'll break one more time. 31-7, Dutchtown leads Santa Ma. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of Dutchtown High School would like to thank Advantage Physical Therapy, SEC Heating and Cooling, Tata Law Firm, Raising Cane's in Prairieville, Ross Downing Buick GMC, Hollis Orthodontics, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Peak Performance Physical Therapy, for their support of our Griffins Sports Medicine Program.
It's 31-7. It was 14-7 about 10 minutes ago on the game clock, and Dutchtown has come back with 17 unanswered.
Let's see what we get on this kickoff here. I don't see there's any reason to kick it deep.
So to the 27 and ahead to the 35. So they did kick it short again. That's number 84, Timothy Johnson, who sees a lot of action at receiver for the Gators. And so now 2:19 left to go, and basically you're just playing this one out at this point, Coach. And Santa Ma's season is no longer unbeaten, but they're still in great shape right now.
Still very good.
Yeah.
Very successful, and it could be real successful.
Absolutely. They're still going to be a top 10 team in the power rankings after this, most probably. Up for grabs, incomplete. And this team and these players and the coaches, they all got to be commended for what they've done, because last season they struggled a little bit. They had to win Week 10 to make the playoffs, and this season they're not going to sweat out a playoff berth. They could potentially get a home game or two, and that's a big improvement, one of the biggest improvements in 5A.
And, if you look on, that side, and then on the other side, with the defense that Dutchtown has, it's a strong possibility that could help lead them through some rounds in the playoff.
Right. The offense struggled a lot of this game on the Dutchtown side, but the quarterback really stepped up and completed some passes in the second half. Ethan Oakman had the long pass to DeSherry, then he had the long pass to Mayo. So if they can get that passing game rolling, they could be dangerous, and they're potentially a team that could get a home game or two, as well as they're going to move up, beating the number 3 team in the power rankings, move up inside the top 10. Pass is incomplete. They're at 10 right now. They're going to move up to the single digits after a win like this tonight. Clock's going to stop with 1:35 left to go. And looks like they're going to keep Babin out there. You're going to hear some things from both these teams in the postseason, especially if whichever of these teams, or if both of these teams can get 2 home games. Pressure and incomplete, trying to get it to number 18, Reed Mayers. And it's going to be change of possession, and I'm thinking we're just going to take a knee right here, right, Coach?
Definitely.
And so it's going to be a win for Dutchtown, and they're going to improve on the season to 6-1 and 2-1 in district play, and they will have won 2 in a row after that heartbreaking loss at Walker, and they played themselves right back into the district title hunt. And like we talked about earlier, Coach, if Sandoval can recover and beat Walker next week, you have potentially 3 teams that could be playing for a district title week 10. And 2 of them are on the field right now. No. Haven't heard anything about the Walker Live Oak game so far. It's going to be second down after the knee. So when you lose a game like this, Coach, what do you tell your team? You know, because it's obviously a disappointment.
The season's not over. That's definitely
absolutely.
One. You know, there are reason why they're ranked. You know, both of these teams are ranked where they are, and so you know, I would say, you know, talking to Guy's team, we're pretty good, folks.
Yep.
And I think as long as they play the defense like they do, you know, they're going to have a chance. I mean, just think last year with Poirier, not a whole lot of throws down the field. And it's a whole different ball game this year. And for Sandoval, you know, we were 7-0 coming into this. And we could finish this on a positive note. We're good enough defensively.
Yep.
We're good enough in the special teams. And we got to get better offensively.
We'll take a break and wrap things up. Final score, Dutchtown 31, Sandoval 7. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
Looking for an extraordinary education opportunity? Introducing Ascension Public School's Early College Option Program, where you can earn a high school diploma and an associate's degree from River Parishes Community College at the same time. Experience the best of both worlds as high school seamlessly blends with college coursework in a rigorous yet supportive program. Yet stay connected to your home high school through clubs, organizations, and sports. And here's the best part. Students pay no tuition or textbook cost. Ascension Public School's Early College Option Program, where your future begins today.
B.T. Chapman and A.J. Pickett with Advantage Therapy are honored and excited to team up with Dutchtown High School's athletics. At Advantage Therapy, we are dedicated to helping our patients regain the highest possible functional status through one-on-one patient care. Advantage Therapy has spent nearly 2 decades providing both outpatient orthopedic physical therapy and occupational therapy to the people of Ascension and surrounding parishes. From all of us at Advantage Therapy, go Griffins!
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, forget about X's and O's. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Dr. Brian Hollis is Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Dr. Hollis has an excellent reputation for bringing state-of-the-art technology and the highest standard of patient care to Ascension. He attended LSU Dental School, and he completed a residency to become a board-certified specialist in orthodontics. An avid supporter in our community, Dr. Hollis is married to Celeste Pyron Hollis, and they have 4 children. Dr. Hollis, Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Grow up smiling with Hollis Orthodontics. Get to know SEC Heating and Cooling this year. Locally owned and operated by Stephen Conyer since 2013, SEC Heating and Cooling works with residential and commercial customers in Ascension, East Baton Rouge, Livingston, and surrounding parishes. SEC specializes in preventive maintenance, repair, and complete changeout and installation of energy-efficient central air systems. From professional sales and expert installation of central AC systems to repairs and ductless AC systems, we can handle all your needs. For total peace of mind, call SEC today.
No one teaches you what to do immediately after an accident. Once everyone is safe, your first call should be to an attorney, not the insurance company.
Don't let the insurance company take advantage of you at your time of need. Call the Title Law Firm. We'll walk you through what you need to do in real time.
But you can take advantage of the Title Law Firm's 30 years of experience.
Before you call your insurance, make a free, no obligation call to the Title Law Firm.
Call 756-0007 when you're injured. You gotta call. You gotta call Title.
And we're wrapping things up out here. As you see, Coach Guy Mastretta with the victory speech tonight as the Griffins with a surprising 31-7 victory over the previously undefeated Santa Maria Gators, ranked number 3 in the power rankings. Of course, Dutchtown was in the top 10, so it's not a big upset, but a very dominating performance here tonight, especially in the fourth quarter, pulling away at the end, Coach.
Well, I think if you coach or play this game long enough, you'll be in a number of these type games. But, you have Coach Oliver on one side talking to his team, saying, trying to say the positive things that happened to us and some of the negative things that we need to improve on. And then you have Coach Guy Mastretta. Their guys ought to be real, real happy. But you need to remind them, this was a one-score game for about 3.5 quarters. And then you need to remind them of what they did for that half a quarter and how special they are. And we have a very good team. And so we ought to just continue on. Our goal has got to win the rest of our games and get in those playoffs and show them what Dutchtown can actually do.
So Dutchtown finishes out with Denham Springs and East Ascension, 2 teams on the outside looking in at the playoffs. So they'll be favored in those last 2 games. Speaking of that game, late in the fourth, East Ascension leads Denham 17-10. And for Santa Maria, Coach, we brought it up, but we can bring it up again. Season's not over. You're playing for a potential shot at a district title if you can beat Walker next week.
And, you're sitting there thinking last year we were trying to win Week 10 to get into the playoffs. So a lot of positive things for both teams. Of course, you have one team loses today, and maybe you got to scratch your head a little bit. But the season's not over for either one of these. And look forward to seeing what happens the rest of the season.
And next week,
we'll walk you through what you need to do in real time.
But you can take advantage of the Title Law Firm's 30 years of experience.
Before you call.
And then the other game of the week will be here at Dutchtown, as Dutchtown will take on Denham Springs. Jimmy Frederick and Patrick Email will bring you that game. So that's going to wrap things up. And we'd like to thank everybody, producer Lyle Boudreau, director Nolan Wagesback, camera operators Andre Chapoy and Jake Wazan, and our student workers William Mullenberg, Kayla Cazalio, Aiden Westerhausen, Louis Voorhees. Great crew, and we're proud of everybody. So that's going to wrap things up. I'm Jeff Porsche. He's Coach Swag. Final score, Dutchtown 31, Santa Maria 7. We'll see you next week. You have been watching the Rev Game of the Week.